I am sure sports. You know me there, I'm coast to coast representing. I mean, I say this is righteous representing for Omar. You don't know, come get the sports over here from near and far. Boy. Me say I am sure sports, one thing me sure about. When me say sure, that me not doubt. Come get your sports, get it over here. Come subscribe, repost and share. I am sure sports, one thing me sure about. When me say sure, that me not doubt. Come get your sports, get it over here. Come subscribe, repost and share. If me not sure, that me not say it. Know who score, that me not say it. Never know no game play, that me not say it. If me never seen a game, me not know who play. For your sports news, better come over here so. For your soccer news, then come over here so. If you don't love sports, still come over here so. For the day done, you are gonna love over here so.
So when it comes on to behavior concerning football, Jamaica is decent. I am sure that if we can get all of these things done, set in place by the end of April, it gives us enough time before the World Cup campaign. Not afraid of no Brazil, no Argentina with these crap of players. We are good enough. Remember, like, subscribe, share. Listen, comment, let me know what your thoughts are.
Trick-Nick Jerk Marinade gives your meats and vegetables authentic Jamaican jerk flavor. The spices are directly from Jamaica. Spices like jerk seasoning, allspice, Scotch bonnet pepper, fresh scallions, thyme, ginger, and garlic. The key ingredients to a great jerk marinade. 0% sugar and low in sodium. You want to try it?
Made up of 18 Jamaican herbs and spices, add delicious, bold flavor to your next grilling experience. Flavoring sauce, a marinade, basting, condiment, or topping. Trick-Nick Jerk Barbecue Sauce.
William Lee Memorial High School D-Cup Alumni presents its third annual fundraising barbecue on Memorial Day, May 30th, 2022. Wear your favorite jersey to Wilsonwood Park in Mount Vernon, New York. Remember to take exit 12 off the Hutchinson River Parkway. Music by DJ Mad Max of Sound 1000. Proceeds to aid the William Lee High School Costa Cup team. For more information, contact Keegan 304-607-4034. Our Codfish at 954-639-2991. Proud of people, it's important. Remember, make sure say Ono did that.
All right, greetings and good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I am Management, and this is I Am Sure Sports. I had a wonderful day, though there are many things that troubled my mind and my heart throughout the day, even up to this point. But I have life, and therefore I up to give thanks. You know, I don't have all the things I desire in this life, but I have breath, and that is important. And every day I'm able to breathe is an opportunity to experience life in a new way and in a new format. There are lives that needs to be rebuilt. And right now I want to encourage you, if you have something that every time you see it and you hear about it, it bothers you, I challenge you to get involved in changing it. Don't just talk about it, get involved and make a difference. Seek to add value to someone's life. I'm also wearing one of my favorite team shirt, Arsenal. This is a jersey because we won today, you know, and we will be winning the Premier League next season, of course. And I must say that I was at a football game today out by Draxall. Well, firstly, let me also stop and say congratulations to our under-17 Reggae girls who won by 4-0 against Cuba to qualify for the quarterfinals of the under-17 CONCACAF tournament, where they will meet the United States of America on Wednesday for a spot to get into the semifinals. We believe. All right. I also was at the games played at Draxall today. The first game, saw Tivoli Gardens defeating Mobay United by 2-0. And since Admiral Bailey has taken over the reins at Tivoli, they haven't lost a game. All right. And this is the first game that the coach who is in place for Mr. Wally Downs, Nick Eden, first game that he lost today 3-1. Very controversial game, 2 goals that had many question marks, battles were thrown. And so I want to remind people that these things are telecast across nations. And when people see this, it's not a good spectacle for our sport. So we must learn to control ourselves, right? I know you see it sometimes in club football over the world, but they already have a very good market. We're trying to build that. I also saw something very interesting today. I didn't know, and I was able to speak to an official. So if you know anything, my guest probably knows a little about this. I'm keeping him in the background a little bit. Soon bring him forward. But a player came on as a substitute, and he was yellow carded. He was yellow carded because he came onto the field, went into the middle of the park, sat down, and watered the grass. All right. And so the referee gave him a yellow card, and the yellow card was for unsportsmanlike conduct. And so I kind of sought an explanation, right? And I was told that the player, that was not a good spectacle for the sport because it was being telecast, and he's coming off the bench. And if you wanted to water the grass, go to the restroom, the designated place. Don't water the middle of the pitch, right? So that was a very interesting thing, and I learned something new at the game today. The man was yellow carded for watering the grass, right? And the truth is, if it were a player who was on the field, then he would have gotten away with it. But he was a substitute coming on. Never saw that before in football. So you learn every day. Big thank you to our sponsors, Prestige Finance, lending a helping hand when you need it the most. For all your, watch this, loans, all loans you need, contact Prestige Finance, right? They are located in Linstead, St. Catherine, and they're offering you loans of up to 100,000 Jamaican dollars. All you have to do is call them, let them know you heard about them from I Am Sure Sports. No processing fee, same day processing, 0 to 4% interest rate. Also, right, big thank you to Launch Legacy, where they handle risk and seek legacy. So for all your personal insurance needs in Canada and the USA, visit Launch Legacy or call or text them at 647-989-0782. Big thank you to all the persons who are watching at this time. It promises to be a very interesting conversation. We're going to have a conversation, and then I will invite you to make your comments and then ask our guests as they are appropriate to the discussion to respond to them as he sees fitting. Now, I have with me this evening Coach Vin Blaine. As you know, there are many things that are out there in the press about a letter that was sent by a large percentage of the players in the senior team, and they spoke about communication, organization. From the article, organization, communication, and one other C. I can't remember, but I think you remember that. I don't have the article in front of me, but those 3 things were cited as a reason, but it was an 18 point. That there were 18 actual points of concern that were expressed by the young ladies. That to me, I'm surprised. That's me. Given how the team has performed and how they have improved, I'm very surprised. That's me. So at the game today, I spoke to many persons in the footballing circle, and everyone is shocked. Everyone is kind of wondering, like, how is this important? How is this necessary and relevant at this particular time? Why is it necessary to be done now? How is a move like this enabling our football to be any better, right? And so we have with us Mr. Vin Blaine and he's going to speak to us about that. Listen, I don't want to stop and ask you to like and share and subscribe. So as soon as you come on, you do that, and let's get into our discussion tonight. Coach, welcome.
Thanks, Amar. Glad to be here again.
Wonderful. Always good having you, man. You're smiling, and that's very good. That means you're not. I'm trying to smile. You understand me? Because I am still perplexed in my mind. But it's good to see you having a smile on your face, given all that is transpiring. So I really admire that and think. Let me just share with you like my personal position, and then I'll get you to share. So I personally can't see the long-term benefit of a move like this, either from a footballing perspective or administrative perspective. That's me. Secondly, I can't see why there was not meetings held privately where the matters were raised and some decision was made, and then a statement be made, right, where whomever the persons are, the players and the federation and the coach should have met at the end of the last set of games, in my opinion, to discuss these matters. A decision is arrived at, and that decision could be the same decision now, but at least there would have been an open discussion, right, where a pathway is clear and everyone understand. Because I think how this has come out, it throws everything on you as the bad person, right? And we want better for the football from the other side. But the people who know you view this as injustice towards you. So there is what you call a backfiring of the intent. So you talk to us. How did this come about? Because most people are surprised.
Yeah, well, I'm not 100% surprised. I think my role and responsibility with the team is to ensure there are no sort of, I don't want to use scandal or but there are no there's nothing in the team that will disturb the progress of a team. I think it's my role. There has been ongoing thing within the team from the players themselves also, indiscipline. And I don't want to say it in a way where now that this has come out, I'm going to talk about the players. That's not it. But there has to be a balance between how you manage a team and the perception of the players. I'm not surprised because I don't believe that it's the players who have pushed this thing. In previous interviews that may have been heard that I have done, I've said that external forces have influenced this decision by the players. I can tell you that if you look at the letter that was written, I can tell you it was not written recently, based on the content. And none of the players wrote that letter. I'm a 99.9% certain that none of the players wrote that letter. It was written and then distributed as if they are the ones that decided on the content. That's not true. I'm 100% certain of that. Because some of the things on there, if you're able to share a screen, I will show you. But don't worry about it. Some of the topics in there. And
I can share the screen,
Well, let us talk it through. If
go ahead. Yeah, man.
We can do it. But I can tell you some of the things that were mentioned in there about coaching. Lack of video analysis is one of them that was said. As I said, I don't know what that meant. I think if they had said it in not even the first round that happened, we had video analysis in the first games. We didn't have a video analysis of Bermuda at the time because we had no information on Bermuda, right? So we went into the game to play our game and not what what we studied of Bermuda. We never knew Bermuda. The only game that Bermuda played, 90% of the squad wasn't that squad that came to Jamaica. So we couldn't do a video analysis of that. But after the Bermuda game, we used the footage from the Bermuda game to explain to the players the weaknesses in different areas and areas that we did well. So we did that. Then now coming into the game against Cayman, we did a video to show them the Cayman game. We discussed the Cayman game, and we showed them that the girls were the players that they are to watch, because they didn't have a direct pattern of play, because they never had a chance to play. Every team they play, they're always on the defensive, so it's very hard for them. You know, there are certain situations that occurred in the game, especially from their captain that we pointed out. We got a video session on that. And at the same time, we looked at Damrep. We showed a complete video showing the way the rotations that they make. There are a couple of distinct rotations that they made. We show them that. We also highlighted players that they should be watched. That should be watched. So I don't understand where no video analysis came about that one. That surprised me.
Is it a lack of the person or a lack of the video? Like, is it what they're saying is that there was no video analysis or analysis?
It says it's a lack of video analysis. So that speaks to the video itself.
Oh, video itself. But was there anyone in the coaching staff had the duty? Was there a video analyst on staff?
In the first round, the first two games in February, there was.
There was. I remember that.
Yes.
But
in the second window, it didn't come.
Okay. What the reason why I bring up this is because the reason why the person is not there is not because of you.
No. But
exactly.
But I think some persons attribute that to me. That I cut him without. That wasn't so. His contract was up.
Exactly. Okay.
And I don't know if he had a contract. I don't take care of contracts. So if a coach's contract is up, he has to negotiate that with the JFF, not me.
And the person was not necessarily assigned to the female team. They were assigned to the JFF.
Yes, because he did this
with the men's team. Exactly.
Right. So
go ahead.
His contract was up, and I don't know. He just sent me a WhatsApp message saying his contract was up yesterday and he won't be traveling with the team on the 4th. That's what he said to me, and I said okay. And I said I appreciate it. The information. So, But also, I have someone in Jamaica who is pretty good at doing analysis. So I used him. I think you might know him. I used him.
Yeah.
And he sent me the information and did a very good job. And but he wasn't on site, so I allowed my staff to present it.
So that is why I'm asking: is it like, because based on what you're saying in the letter, the fact that the analysis was there? Could somebody believe that you got rid of the analyst? And so
Not
they're
really. I don't know.
You understand what I mean? Because you had the analysis. So why are they putting something lack of analysis?
Yeah, I don't know how they will have read into it, but I get from it what I get. I know the first game we played against Bermuda, we never had one. But that was the analyst there was saying that he didn't. I had a discussion with the guy. I said, listen. He was saying to me, I didn't ask him to prepare anything, right? And I said to him, how can I ask you to prepare on a game that you have never seen the team play, or I have never seen the team play? So what would you have been analyzing, right? Because he was one of them that came in with this bias, I think. I think he's one of them was undermining the program, and I can say that straight up.
The video analyst.
Yeah, he was with he was with World Cup team, So they all came in with this what we used to do thing. And I'm saying the team, I remember saying to him that the team played terrible defensively. You want me to what we used to do and do the same thing? Right? So I am very forthright, and sometimes, I smile a lot when I'm ready, but I don't like people trying to push me around and say things that is not necessarily true. So I'm not afraid to answer them. But we never had, I think that, as I said to you, this letter was not written recently. Guaranteed. It was just sent out and signed no.
Right. So I heard, so I spoke to people in media, and all the people that I've spoken to in the media, they all said that the letter was not written by any member of the football team.
Never.
They say how that letter was constructed, it has nothing to do with footballers.
Right.
Because, and they brought up this point to me. And the point that they were making is that the video analyst was no longer with the team. Exactly. So no matter what analysis you got, it's going to be a problem because the analyst left.
Yes.
And the analyst leaving is somehow connected to you.
Oh, that's what. Yeah, but that's. I think that's what they were saying. But as I said, this letter was written from after the game against Grenada, right? That's what I understand, and I'm based on what I'm seeing here. It was not done after the game against Damrep.
Right, it was done before and signed. Yeah,
it was done before. No, it was done before, but now they just bring it on and sign it and ask the girls to sign it. Because now, let me explain to listeners and viewers.
Some of them, I mean, let me just say this, because Nia is saying that what are the points of contention in the letter?
I'm pointing out some. Pointing out some that I think is important and that I have facts on. Yeah. I can discuss them. I can go through them for them. You know.
So one is the lack of video analysis. That's one that you have touched on. But continue, Coach. Yeah.
Yes. But the set pieces, they say, and it just says set pieces. And I don't understand what they mean by just set pieces. I don't know if it means lack of set pieces or whatever. I'm gonna give you, all right, set pieces is one. Then they come down and say the absence of a schedule daily or otherwise. Right? Recovery methodology in coaching. Absence of a schedule daily or otherwise.
Recovery
methodology. I want to address those four: lack of video analysis, set pieces, recovery methodology, and the absence of a schedule daily or otherwise. And I go through them I've done the video analysis already. Right? Recovery methodology. Right? From day one, right? External forces were asking me. I'm not calling. I'm deliberately using external forces. I'm not calling names of those people. They know who they are, right? Yeah. But I'm going to say external forces had nothing to do with the players. The players are not included in that. All right. So the external forces asked me about recovery, and they were concerned about the recovery between the game from Jamaica and the game in Grenada. And as far as I know, they are not experts on recovery. They're not They're not fitness coaches. They're not high performance coaches. So I just found that strange. And all I answered was, I'm not concerned about it. Because in all my years of coaching and all my years of doing anything, if I don't know how to recover players, and it was not my era, we had people in the group that are there to do that.
You can have a masseuse and a physical trainer.
Exactly. So I don't worry about that. But that was a question asked because I had cut a staff member for them. I see a staff member for them who was a fitness coach, and everybody is into that person. And I don't have a problem with that.
So you see what is happening now, Coach? Mm-hmm. From the previous regime, you cut a fitness coach.
Yes.
You cut a video analyst.
I didn't cut the video analyst.
Well, the video analyst
was with me.
Contract was up.
No. The video analyst contract was up at the end of the game against against, who was it, Grenada? No, the video analyst contract was up after the last game that the Reggae Boys played.
Right. Right. So
That they
the
won
game
2-1.
against Honduras. So at the end of the
Yeah,
Honduras
they
game,
won 2-1, right.
his contract
After
ended up,
that,
which meant that he could no longer work with the female team as well, because his contract, unless he did a new contract.
Yes, which he didn't do.
So indirectly, he was out of the program from
Yeah.
the old regime.
Yes.
The fitness instructor from the old regime is also out of the program.
Yeah, but let's put it in perspective, you know.
Yeah.
He was out of the program before I started.
Yeah. Okay.
I selected my staff, he wasn't that. Right? Now, reason being, I believe that my stake was to give a Jamaican an opportunity to be in charge of that area, because he worked there before. He worked with the person before. Right? He worked with the fitness coach from the World Cup time.
Oh, so he worked with the fitness coach that was cut?
Yes. So
Okay.
my thing was to give this youngster an opportunity to be in charge of the program. Because my question to him was, what does this coach do that you can't do now that you've been with him for 3.5 years? He says nothing he can do. I said, I'm giving an opportunity. Why are you now undermining the program? So I gave him an opportunity, but I think the powers that be, or the outside forces, were not comfortable that I moved the fitness coach. And the question was asked about him, and I said, listen, I'm the head coach. I select people that I am comfortable working with. Just like what the other coaches in the past did. They came in, they selected their coaching staff. The last coach, Busby, came in and selected his coaching staff. That was different than the World Cup staff in certain areas, right? I come into the program as a head coach. I had the right to select my staff. And that was something that was said to me by the president. When I got the job, he said, Vin, go ahead and select your staff. Right? And I selected the staff that I'm comfortable with. And I think the mistake I made was not to cut everybody at the same time.
Well, this is what Foreign Spider right here just said. He said you should have cut everybody from day one.
Exactly.
Because that is just how it goes
in sports. Yeah, but as I say, you must remember that I never expected what happened from a local staff to ever happen. To be honest with you. So I figured that, okay, you get an opportunity, that's it. But in hindsight, you know, it's 50-50. So I may have done that. It may have thrown off the program some more. I just thought that coming in, the fitness coach is used to the players already, right? That was there. You know, the doctor is already in tune with girls. The masseuse is in tune with the girls. I didn't see the necessity to move them out. Right,
you did get along with some of them, because it's not like all of them you had.
No, I don't think we had a problem with them. You know, I just think there's one person that created the toxic environment. Whether the medical staff was with them or not, right? Whether the other people were with him or not, I don't know. I just think that it was caused by I think it was caused by the analysts and this one other coaching staff member. I just thought so, because there was something that had been said. They don't care what I'm doing. They don't care what we're doing. You're part of it, and you don't care what we're doing. And I think some things were being said outside to the girls, right? And I said they know who they are. And they know they were guilty of it. That's not no secret. They know full well that they're guilty of it.
Yeah. All right. So that's the recovery methodology and the video analysis. What is the absence of daily, a schedule, daily or otherwise?
That means when you every day you have a schedule that shows breakfast time. At 8 o'clock you have breakfast. You may want to have a meeting at 10 o'clock in the morning. Then you have lunch. Then you have departure time for training. Then you have training, and they might come back and have dinner, and then lights out. That's the type of schedule they're talking about, right? Remember, the girls came in on the 4th. They came in on the 4th for the last April 4th for the last 2 games. On the 29th of March, they were sent a comprehensive document, a document that highlighted who are the girl, all members of the squad names, the members of the
coaching staff.
They had a detailed detailed schedule from April 4th all the way through the 13th, based on the things that I just told you about the schedule. Right? Every single one. They have the part for training, the part for Cayman on the 7th, the time of the departure, everything. Then they have the time they're going to do their physical, their medical COVID
And
test.
the COVID test, yes.
Everything is written in. Then they have also the next day when we train, they have that, and then everything from departure to training, blah, 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 all those things. They had game time, what then we played. They had the next day on the 10th, what the time we depart from Cayman to Jamaica, and it continues until the 13th they departed. So I don't know how that could be. That's why I'm telling you that was not written by a player, because they said, as far as deal is gone, they got that on the 29th, and they also
the 29th of March.
The 29th of March, and also in that document, all the set players that were going to be done in for them, we have worked that out. It was printed, right, in color, graphically set out, the way the players go, this everything, and we did it for attacking free kick, defending defensive free kick. We did for attacking corner. Defending corner with that, and it was in so that document.
The players got all of this in that from the 29th of March.
Every single player got before they came to camp. Right? So whoever wrote this letter was never advised that these things were done. And if you notice in the document, it says set pieces. Right? So what are you talking about, set piece? And then the day before the game, right? We did a complete training session on set plays. The entire session was because in Jamaica, the field they're complaining about the field at the Sabina Park. So we had to cut the sessions. On the first day, all my sessions were going to be run for 90 minutes. Right? But because of the first training session on Sabina Park, they were complaining for their legs that it's bothering them. So I cut the session to 60 minutes. Right? And we did it that way because I didn't want them to get injured. And I even canceled one of the sessions because I didn't want to pressure them on that. So on the match day -1, I decided that all we're going to do is set plays. Call it quits for the day because I don't want to stress them out because the same problem on their legs. They asked for additional training after we finished the set plays. They wanted to do a small side of the game. And I found it's training because they were the ones that complained about the surface. But since they asked for it, I figured they are in the mood for it, so we did it. So they ran the session for another 25 minutes and called it quits for the day. So I don't know where that set pieces come in because they got everything before they came to Jamaica. They got all the set plays, they got all the players. All we did in this session now, because we set out where the players should be. We just now match the position with players now. So you are going to be you're number one in the wall, this the bam. You're going to take the corner. So we did that in the session. Although it was sent to them in a graphic, but we didn't put names to the positions. But on the pitch now, we put names to the position and show them who's going to do what and where. All right.
But if this is the issue, because the Grenada game would be because you said the letter was written before the Grenada game.
The Grenada game, I think it was written
after the Grenada game, because
first 2 rounds. I think that's where these things came up.
We played Bermuda at the office.
Yes.
Then we went away and we played Grenada.
Yes. And as I told you before, I took blame for the Bermuda game and the scoring.
Yes.
The lack of scoring goals because I took them very, very. I relaxed on that. Didn't go too much. I just said, guys, listen, let's go out there and score some good. And I was too relaxed in that approach, right? And I've taken all the blame for that already. Although I believe that they could do better themselves. They are professional players. But I took the blame for that, right? And then we came back to the game in
Grenada.
No, that's a Grenada game. Then we came and played Cayman. A lot of people didn't give us any chance against Damre, but not even didn't shot, but they doubted it. And I never doubt that I would have won the game. Never doubted. And even if we were to overcome goal difference against Kim, I know we could have done it. But so when you look at these points that they wrote about, it astounds me that they can come up with these areas that, I don't see sense in them. So if they're gonna come up with these things, you get your facts straight, right? And I only can speak to the one that I have practical evidence of.
Because part of the newspaper article, I think you in the newspaper article that came out in the Gleaner, I know you cited 3 things. One of them was communication.
They have three top headings: coaching, communication, and organization.
What do you understand that they meant by communication? What, you don't talk to them? You talk too loud, you talk too soft, you don't understand you?
2 bullet points. Let me tell you, 2 bullet points. To save you the questions, 2 bullet points they mentioned. Insufficient follow-ups. And no opening and or closing meetings. And the reason why I'm talking to this email, because this email, because it's out there. I don't know how they get it, but people have it. It's out there in the public already.
So insufficient follow-up and no closing and opening meetings.
Right. Now let me explain what that's to you. Insufficient follow-ups is like after the game. That's what they're talking about. Right? And I asked a question. After a game, after we played, say for instance, Cayman. And we beat Cayman 9-0. What kind of follow-up can I say with them about that game?
I am wondering if that's what they meant. Are they talking like when they went back from the games, like back to their clubs or whatever, you don't talk to them, you don't follow up with them, because it couldn't be the window between these games are so short. What kind of follow up?
Well, no, I'm going based on what I've been at one point that said to me by I think that it could be also not following up after.
Right.
Right.
What was said to you? What was said to you by someone is follow up after the game.
A lot of things have been said, and I have to look into what they say. I know that communication was one of our weak areas, and I always can admit when I know something is wrong. At one point, we had asked, like for instance, I asked and I'm not knocking her. I'd asked the manager to make organize a Zoom meeting with them. Yeah. Immediately after we got the draw, because I wanted to have the draw for us to make the one meeting, but she got caught up in work and never did it. So I think that we fell down in that era sometimes.
Oh, you see, when you say the draw, you're talking the last draw. After this last draw, a couple Tuesdays ago, you wanted to have a Zoom meeting with the players.
Right after the draw.
Right after the draft. So you spoke to the team manager about doing it, but the team manager was not able to arrange the meeting.
Right. So it never happened. So what I did was I actually messaged them in the WhatsApp, in their group. But I wanted to meet with all of them at the same time. We discussed, the game, our dominant game, and then going into our next, what the plans going forward. That's what I was going to do. And it never really happened. I remember the game was played on the 12th, and the draw was like 4 days after.
Right.
But I take full responsibility for the lack of communication in some areas. I think maybe we could have followed up some more on that. The no opening and or closing meetings. That happened in the first window, in the February window. Right, it happened because the girls came in haphazardly with 2 days, so we couldn't have a meeting. Even the staff came in at different time, and the players came in the morning, some players came in the evening. So we never had a proper meeting. We did have it in the night, right? Yeah. Closing meetings, and the last one with the Cayman and Damerick game, we did have a opening meeting, we didn't have a closing meeting to leave, because when we were there, we had ice bath and all that after the game. They had the interviews, so a lot of interviews, and then went to ice bath, and then they came back to the hotel late. I was on an interview when they came back, so I couldn't leave and go into the room. But not all of them came down to dinner. Some went off on own and do whatever they had to do. So I never had them at one time. And the next morning, some leave at 6:30, 7, some leave at 8, some leave at 9. I myself left at 9. So it was not a era there to do it. So I said I would do it in a Zoom meeting. This is Zoom meeting I asked to set up, and it wasn't set up.
Okay.
But I don't know
So
if that's what I think.
in retrospect, though,
Huh?
in retrospect,
Yes.
could a schedule, if you had on the schedule that after the final game, which is the Damrep game, in retrospect, after the final game against Damrep, we will have our final meeting, our wrap-up meeting at 10 p.m.
Right.
the night of the game. If you had that, no matter what they had to do, so in retrospect, that's probably something that could have been established and in place. That means if you want to go to the pool, fine. But know that at 10 o'clock, we all are going to meet.
I agree. And that's why I said I think in communication is one of the areas I think I fell down in, because of, and I'm not making the excuses at the time. And that's what was said. If I had put that we're having this at that time, the players would have known. I couldn't set the time exactly because I didn't bargain for the long delay between the game, interviews, and the bath. Right, but it could have been in the schedule. So that is something I accept and take full responsibility for.
I mean, given where we are right now, because truthfully, we can't get into all the details of the letter, because at the same time, I know one of the things you have done in all of this, your public utterances, you have not said anything in any way against any player, and you have unequivocally stated that this has really nothing to do with the players, but outside influences. All right. All right. So that's where we're at now. What I would say is that for whatever reason, the players signed the letter. So my question would be, were you invited to any sort of meeting before the letter went public in order to deal with this? And I don't want to use Bible, but it's a Sunday, so I'm going to do a little preaching. The Bible says, if your brother do you something, go to him one-on-one. If he doesn't listen to you, bring a witness. If he doesn't listen to both of you, bring it to the leaders. If it don't happen that way, you bring it to the entire public and you run him away from amongst you. Paraphrasing. So my question is, at any point were you contacted to discuss the points in the letter before the letter went public?
No. And I don't think it would be prudent for them to do that with me. If you have been something that you're going to talk about the coach, it would be foolhardy to send the information to the coach and discuss it. Then it wouldn't be needed to send it out. Then they would need to send it out. I don't have a problem with the girls doing what they do. Some people say the girl. I don't have a problem with that. If players believe that they are not being treated properly, if they believe that they're not enjoying what the coach is doing, I think at this level they can express it. They are not able to do it at their clubs though. But my personal, I just say, if they come to me with these areas, I will discuss it. They never came to me with those areas. We have had discussion with them, but not to all these points. Because I would defend. I would ask them, what is this that you're seeing? Isn't that a schedule? What is it you're seeing? Is that a video analysis of your sessions? I would say those things so that I know that is not the players who wrote that thing, right? I don't have a problem with players telling me, Coach, I don't like the session. Coach, we should be doing this. I coach Premier League. I coach Haberview Premier League team. I won Premier League with them, and I have players like Jeremy Hugh and people who are, Richard Edwards, those players that are there, and they will, if they don't like a session, they have never ever come in and coach, I don't like the session. They come to work. So whatever session you put in front of them, they're professional, they do the work. They'll more tell other players that they're not doing the sessions properly. They're not putting the work in there. So I'm not used to that type of approach, but I didn't feel that they couldn't do it and say it to me. So it's not a matter of, it's just that I know it's not their doing. Those points on there is not the coach, not the players' points as bullet points, the areas. Because if the players would know that they did the video session, the players they're going to comprehensive thing from the 29th of March sent to them in their group. And then individual, it's just sent in the group and individually to the players. And then every night they got a daily schedule for the next day.
Oh, the daily schedule. Okay. Okay, so all right, given where you're at now, with all that is out in the media, I mean, at the end of the day, I don't think anyone wins. I don't think football wins. I don't think you win. I don't think the outside influence will win, the JFF will win, or the girls will win. I just can't see the tangible long-term benefits of this kind of thing happening or precedents being set. But you're a very intelligent person and a professional on what you do. Given what is transpiring, what you think is the best next move for you, for the program, and for the girls, given that they may be pawns and you know some of them, because I don't even want you to call them, but some of these young ladies, you had them from under 17. From 2013, when I think they got knocked out in that 4th place playoff in the under 17 tournament, you were in charge.
Yes, but at that time, what I was in charge of the entire women's program. I had made Maron Gordon the head coach of that. I appointed him the head coach.
Yes.
I appointed Xavier Gilbert as the head coach of the under 20. Although I'm the one in charge, it's me. When the CONCACAF comes to the tournament and they put Vin Blaine as the coach, I tell them to take it off and put whoever is. If he's the under 17, I say put Maron Gordon name there. If it's the under 20, I say put Xavier Gilbert, because I wanted them to get the experience. At that time, I was all over the Caribbean. Everybody in the Caribbean knew me as the head coach of the team, and people at CONCACAF knew. But I wanted them to be, Jamaica, we still want to boss a man, and that's what I wanted for them. So at the time, it was Maron Gordon was in charge of the under 17 that we drew with Mexico, first time down there.
Yeah, right.
And we never had a deep bench. That time Bonnie was playing also.
That's what I'm saying, because Bonnie was a part of
a bench.
Connie Plummer,
yeah.
Right.
Connor played under 20 at 17 years old.
Yeah. So I don't want to get into it, but a lot of these girls, which is one of the things I found strange. A lot of these girls you recruited.
Yes.
Or you work with them from the junior levels.
Mm-hmm.
No.
But let me stop with you, Omar. I don't use that as a way for them to be loyal to me. They have graduated from but they have graduated from under 17 and come up. They're professionals now. It's like for instance, I know you when you're 16, but I was 30 when I knew you're 16. Now you are 40 and I'm a little bit older, but I have to treat you as an adult. I don't use an excuse for them not to say anything about me or come and say, coach, because they know, go to different clubs, they see different standards, they see different things. I have no problem with that. So I don't want any of them to be loyal to me because I started them from early. What I ask for is respect. Loyalty and respect are two different things, right? I don't want them to disrespect me, and I would never disrespect them. At one point, they were arguing about me not getting up on the sideline and making noise. I don't make noise on the sideline. That's me. I get up when I need to get up. I don't go and conduct like I'm doing a joystick coach. Mostly joystick coach. You're there. Hey, move to left. Where are you run here? No, I don't pretend. If I'm coaching Premier League, if I'm coaching women's, I don't do that. But I stand up.
I'm going to share something that I agree with. All right. I don't know that it can, because given just what has happened, I think it is untenable that this is going to be the end of something. Just given how far we have come, and but like what Nia said, and I think if this was approached differently, there could have been mediation, because the points that, like lack of a video analyst, that could be fixed. Bring somebody in. Easy. The JFF could say, okay, let's get somebody in next week. Argument done. All right. Absence of a schedule. Okay. All right. We're going to create a schedule. Argument done. Recovery methodology. If that is really a thing, don't worry. Do you want an extra masseuse? The boys asked for that and they got it. So you get one. Set pieces. Okay. What would you prefer? Like, to me, the issues that have been raised could have privately been resolved without a letter being done. And if they were not resolved, then the letter was done to say, we had a meeting, we came to these conclusions, Coach Vinblaine has done nothing about them. So we have no other choice but to take it public. So my question is what Nia is asking. Well, I don't know if we need it now, but we probably should have, I don't know if a professional mediator between the parties, because none of these issues sound intractable. It requires blame sharing on both sides and a player-coach agreement going forward. But like I said, where it's at right now, I know you're a principled man. There's no way you're going to stick around. I know you.
All right, let me tell you. Let me. I'm gonna say to Neo. Neo, I see what point you're trying to make. Put up that Neo thing on it.
Okay.
Right, Neo, I know what you're trying to say. If you hear me speak, you know I'm not one to not take blame or say what I think I did wrong. And this is the type of person I am. And anybody over the social media platforms for a while will understand. I take blame. I speak the truth. I don't have anything to hide. Right? You see, if it was a situation where it was the players alone that was involved with this, I could probably a mediator, because we have a psychologist. And that's what we needed then, right? We never had him again for this round. But the issues are not something that can be fixed. But the way it is done, it has created such a toxic environment that, listen to this now. If I go back as the coach, am I going to have the respect from the girls? If I stay out from the situation, right? Are the girls going to change their attitude towards another coach? Or are the outside sources that are creating this toxic environment? When I want to say, okay, after a month he's not working, let's get another coach again. It's a very bad precedent we're setting to allow outside forces to control who coaches, what happens in the environment, that they have never been to a training session to see what's happening, but you're judging the coach based on what people tell you. And you have players that will say things because they're not playing. Simple put, anybody in football knows that. Anybody in the sport knows that a player will talk and influence other players against the coach because they are not starting. Right? So I'm in this environment too. I'm in this environment long and all those that are the detractors in the outside sources. I'm telling you that. I know all of them. Right? Let's get back to one thing before you can take off that. No, I tell you one thing I want to jump back at. The recovery thing. The
recovery methodology, which was one of the points in the letter, yes.
The recovery methodology came up in the first meeting that I had, right? And then I had another meeting, and I'm being told that I said that the girls don't have to do any recovery because they can go and sleep. And I asked the person, as a coach, do you think I say something as stupid as that? Right? But I was told that we don't have the recovery equipment, and I left it at that. Because I know recovery can be done without the sleeves and the mules and sitting. I know it. When I was playing football in the 60s, they never have nothing like that. And we still recover. And people must remember that. So if we don't have that, we have to make sure we do what we have or we don't have. Right? So these things that come up in this email are just dumb and just set out by somebody who wants to influence this, because they wanted to get rid of Vinblaine from day one. Before I play a game, the JFF was under pressure to get rid of Vinblaine. Now I won 4 games straight and qualified them, and you know, they have no other choice but to put up this thing to get rid of Vinblaine again. I don't have a problem. If you want him out, have him out, but don't come across and influence players. Because if you influence players and we lose, you're not defending your country. You understand me? If you wish that I lose, and if I lose, the entire country lose. Right? So we'll stop that foolishness. Right? If I play, I don't care who it is. I've never come on and said anything bad about Busby, and you can testify that. I've never done that.
Yeah,
right?
that is true.
Okay, so I'm not here. I'm a coaches person, you know. I love developing coaches. I love to educate coaches, and I do it for free. Right? And I'm saying that if anywhere I go, any country I go, you can ask. I always give a Jamaican a chance to come and do something there. From Spider to everybody, I try. Right? But it is that if you are going to be against the program because you don't like the coach, and you're dead set on getting rid of the coach, come on, don't hide behind the players. Don't hide behind them. Don't encourage the player to sign a document. The last thing I got about signing, I heard that they were sent 2 documents. One that they read, and the other one they sign without reading what they're signing. Now, how can you send a second document for the players to sign and encourage them to sign? And you're telling them, if you don't sign, the other person can't sign. If you don't sign, the other person can't sign. What is that telling you?
I don't understand. So the players were sent 2 documents.
From my investigation, they were sent 1 document to read. And they sent another document that they know to sign. And they could not open the document to see if it's the same document. They were told it's the same thing. And then they were also told that if your name is above mine, I send to you, you have to sign it first because you can pass on to this person to sign. Right? So you're told that. So some of the players they say, okay, since you'll sign.
It's whoa.
I have spoken to players that says they sign it, but they don't agree with getting rid of the staff. And they didn't say they agree with everything. They said some of the bullet points they agree with, some they don't. And I discussed and asked the question, what about those bullet points that you don't like? And we had a discussion to say, okay, and I said to him, okay, this is the reason why this happened and that happened. Right? I had a pleasant discussion about that.
You know what is I think the battle in my mind is trying to understand what is the ultimate purpose of doing it this way. Even if you believe that it is the right thing to remove Coach Blade, say they believe that you are an incompetent coach. Let's put it at that in every aspect. What you must ask is, how do we remove the person in a way that don't create this kind of, you understand? Because I'm saying there may be other grounds. There may be other grounds that you could look at. But to do it, I have a problem with the way that it is done. The fact that a letter, if you had released the letter, then I would say that, well, obviously, Mr. Blake, you understand me? That why was a letter sent to the public instead of, like you're saying, with all of these things, how you think the girls are going to, because I cannot see a team winning 4 games and none of them don't want you to be coach.
And as I said to you now,
girls who you work with so long. So here's my issue. What happens when that other coach comes in and put that player who was starting on the bench, and that player signed a letter for you to leave?
Right.
These are the questions I have. What will happen to
I
the program?
tell you this thing. I tell you something. See, for the listeners and the viewers, and I hope the people, the so-called outside people forces, will see this video, are probably viewing now, because let me tell you. You see, when I have had players that tell me, Coach, we signed it, right? One of the players even say their mother asked her why she signed something that she can't read, right? And from my information, not a lot of the players are not in for the coaching staff to move, but they already signed the letter. That don't mean that they signed the letter means they're not coming back. You get me? So yes. What I'm saying to you about the letter business, I don't. If I knew solely that the girls were responsible for this letter, I would not be arguing it today. I would say the girls believe I can't coach, the girls believe some, and then some might believe I can't coach. I have no problem with that. you have people who don't play for Guardiola and him say him can't coach because him can't teach me for play. Because what? Because I don't pick them on the team and them have issues with him. As a coach, you have to learn to be able to take those criticisms and move forward. So, but I know this letter was not influenced by all the players. The players were asked to sign it, but those bullet points were not their idea. They discussed them probably, but it was not their idea. And I know so because of the event of the things that happened, right? And you told me about what if we had put something on the schedule that said meeting after game. I agree with that. We fell down in that area, right? But those are minute things, right? Minute things. I think they were clutching for straws to find things to say the coaching staff is no good, right? And as I said, it started from the very day that I excluded some people out of the staff. And I don't know any coach that goes to somewhere and don't decide, say, listen, I need the backroom staff, this one I don't need, that one I don't need.
Well, all right. So I mean, so no decision has been made.
No.
All right.
Not as far as I know.
Okay, so because the GFF, as far as what is out there, the GFF has not made a decision, right? But I think just for me, like I say, I've known it for a while, and we have had many conversations. All right, and I've seen it at work. I know. And you can correct me if I am wrong. I know that you love the football more than the position in the football. Mm-hmm. So if walking away will make the program better,
I'd walk away.
You'd walk away. Exactly.
Immediately.
I know that. So I know that you're not here to fight. I want the job. No, I know you're not short of work, you're not short of doing stuff, you're not short of money. So that is not it.
I may be short of money. I want some of yours. I may be short of money.
Yeah. Right. So where it's at right now, I mean, do you see any pathway where you can continue as the coach, or you have to say, listen, given where it's at right now, I can't stay in that a toxic environment like that, and for the good of the game, let's see what happens, and leave with your integrity intact, and leave knowing that, listen, I played 4 games, 4 wins, 24 for, 2 against in terms of goals.
I must say this to you, right? All those who are fighting for my dismissal, maybe with good intent, maybe with bad intent. All I'm saying to them, if Vin Blaine leaves now with the record that he has 4 wins, and people saying the team look good, the pressure will be on them now to qualify. Because the previous staff had put them in a position and give them the opportunity now to see what they're worth. Right? So whether I leave or even if I stay, right? If I stay, the pressure will be on me just the same. Because in the back of the minds of people, the players say they don't like the coach. Right? Or they don't like what the coach is doing. I don't think it's a dislike from me or my personality or the coaches themselves. But if they say that, no, you're going to hear, oh, if I don't qualify, you're going to tell you a long time you shall get rid of the man. That's how what Jamaicans are. Right? Right now, I've not had any negative I've not seen any negative thing coming out of the press, right? And social media. 90% of what's being said is favors our squad and what we're doing, and almost blaming the girls for the timing, the bad timing. But I can't blame the girls 100%, right? One person was involved with the outsiders and brought it into the fold, and the girls signed it. I guarantee if you call and know what happened, they're being bombarded by calls from the media, and the girls are refusing to answer because everybody wants to know what's happening, But we have to be responsible adults when it comes down. You can't do things for your own benefit and destroy your program.
Yeah, because listen, I mean, if I were you, if I were in your position, I, as much as I love the football, unless there's some retracting of the signatures or public statements, which I doubt is going to happen because that would only create more turmoil, I'm leaving. I'm saying, listen, God bless you. Because listen, like I said, today I spoke to media representatives, persons involved in the business sector, sports, and everyone has a problem with how this was done. And their point is, even if you are not the best coach, the fact that the players got involved is not a good precedent. Listen, I've seen professional football, and even with professional football, rarely do you see team members. You check even the turmoil at Manchester United. The players will even not perform and sing. Rarely do you see 21 out of 24 players in any squad in professional football get so involved in removing a coach.
Because they'll be removed.
Exactly my point. Therefore, the fact that this has gone down here, I just think like, unless they are going to say we did not, questions are going to be asked. So if that's me, if I were in your position, I'd say, listen, hey, God bless you all. We will see.
Hey, there's some people don't want to hear that right now, so be careful. Be careful. So there's people that don't want to hear that from that I'm quitting. But you have a point. I right now I don't see a win-win situation. I don't, because as a coach, you don't want to go into an environment where the players don't want to play for you. You understand me?
Yeah.
So it is that way, you know. It's the president, the general secretary, and the powers that be within the association, the federation have to now decide where they go.
Yeah, but the letter says
I'm in limbo. As far as I'm concerned, I'm in limbo.
Listen, I am saying, and this is the issue I have. I don't have a problem if the letter said there needs to be an assessment of the coach, or could you consider getting an ex-coach? The letter says we are not coming to play. That's what it is saying. It is saying, as long as you remain, we're not playing for Jamaica. Something is wrong with that. I can say, listen, the letter should have said, we are asking that you remove the coach. We are asking that, we are signing a petition for the coach to be removed. We are signing a petition for you to get a new coach. We have 22 suggestions. But when you go as far as saying, if that coach remain, we are not playing for Jamaica again. That, I don't know how people...
What they have done is basically give the JFF an ultimatum.
So exactly. So in other words, even if all of Jamaica says, let him stay, the girls are not going to come back to play. That's what they said.
Yeah, in a sense. And you see, I can take two positions now. I can call their bluff, and then people blame me that when they don't come, that this happened. Or, right, they are saying that they're not coming, you know, because of whatever. I can call their bluff, but is it going to be the best thing for the program and my country qualifying for a World Cup? If I believe that if I stay, it's going to cause it, I won't, because I believe that the country come first as far as I'm concerned. I was one that started back this program in 2005. I spent money in the program, right? And we knocked on the door to go to the World Cup with local players in 2006. And if we had the same format that they have now, and I said it before, we'd have gone to the World Cup from 2006, right? We have come fourth twice in different categories, right? Against Mexico, we always lost to Mexico, right? For some reason, we could never. And those days, we never had preparation that we have now. We never had any practice games. We never had all the time of camps. We never had none of those things, right? Our first game is always against our first opponent for practice game. We never had those type of luxury like that these girls have now. They should know, and the players that are there now that from that time should understand and be grateful that they're in a situation where these things are happening for them. But if the players are gung ho and are being led, you create an environment where the prisoners are running the prison. It's a difficult situation, right? The prisoners run the prison. It's going to be difficult.
I think Greg can say that right here. Inmates cannot be seen cannot be seen to be running the asylum. I don't know.
The prisoners want to run the prison.
All right. So let me say it this way. People, the only reason why this is in the public domain is because the letter, the orchestrators of the letter put it in the public domain. I want you to understand.
I don't know if they did, I don't know if I can tell you what happened. I don't know if they did, because up to Wednesday and Thursday, nothing came out. And a person who had ulterior motives and a vested interest in exposing the article called a particular media house and said to the person that put this out, that the girls don't like Vimbling. I'm paraphrasing. And the person said to him, no, I can't do that until I speak to Vimbling, because they don't know the respect I get from journalists. I mean, I told the entire story to the journalists. You understand me? So the person is the person, and then by the next day, other journalists were calling me. So there's somebody with a vested interest in sending this information out to take me and get me out. So this all came about. The media was begging me for the letter. I never sent it out. And I know the JFF or the immediate person in the JFF, like the president and the general secretary, never sent it out. Right? So where did it come from? I don't know when to send. But I know up to Thursday, nothing was out there. It all happened Friday morning, Thursday night, Friday morning. And why would someone call a media house and say, put it out the next day, if they never had an ulterior motive? So they all had a plan. And I think the plan is kind of backfiring on them, because there's no media house that comes out and blame Vimbling. If you read the social media posts, I don't read it, but people tell me that. And they said, listen, 90% of people. One person came to me and said she read 70, and it's only 2 that was a little bit negative, not much negative, but a little negative. One said that Vimbling shouldn't have been hired in the first place. I have no problem with that. That's his or her thoughts. Yeah, I have no problem with that. But if the 70, if 69 can outdo you and have the position about the players, because a person who said that was not looking at the situation. They were looking at personal thing about Vimbling.
Okay.
Address the situation.
All right. So what I'm saying, people, is because a lot of people are like, management, even so, the response from all parties has been disappointing. All right. I think a lot of the responses is not again about what is being done. It is how the whole thing was handled. Because remember, the responses has predominantly been about the items in the article. In other words, the coach has 4 wins from 4 games. Yet, he needs to go on the basis of communication, coaching, and organization with 18 sub-points under those. All right? And it is players that have been put in the middle of this. What we're saying is that because the article came out in the public, I don't know why somebody would do that. The coach has just tried to explain it. That is the issue. Of course, I agree that if there are these issues, if the players feel this way, there should have been a meeting. If persons connected to the team feel this way, I'd want to believe that there's a hierarchy in the football. In every organization, if you have a problem with a line staff, you take it to the supervisor, to the department manager, to the HR department, to the managing director. There is a process. So if there are some issues, say they have some issues now, and you can tell me, coach, because I've never worked with the federation. If there's an issue with the under-17 coach, all you need is all the players to write a letter and he has to go. Is that the process? If there's an issue, say Paul Hall is the coach, there's an issue. All you need for him to go is all the players to write a letter and he has to go. If there's an issue with the under-20 coach, all the players have to do is write a letter and he goes. Is that the precedence?
That's a bad precedent to set. Let me tell you what happens at the JFF. Even when I was a technical director, there's a technical committee that's headed by a chairperson. And they deal with all those issues. As a matter of fact, now that technical committee has the responsibility of hiring or recommending coaches to the program. And when they do that, then they revert to the general secretary. The president has nothing to do with that. The president can if he wants to. But if a problem arises with the coach, then the technical committee has the right to look and invite him to a meeting. It happened with Tapper. I know Tapper was invited to a meeting and discuss some areas that was not going correctly, right? And then Tapper defended his position. That's not why he was fired. I was talking before and during this.
Yeah, man. Understood.
During his campaign. So that's how it is handled. So it's not about the players coming in. This is the first time I know in the history of my time in the JFF that players have written a letter. So maybe I'm a bad coach, but this is the first time I know that they have written. And as I said, I'm a 99% sure. I said 99.9, I think I said before, and I don't want to drop off the 0.9%. Right? 99.9% sure that this letter was not signed by the players. The players were led to sign it. Right? And the way it was signed too was difficult for me to buy into because some of them signed documents and they never see the content.
Yeah.
Right?
Let me say this.
What I'm saying though, Omar, that doesn't take away from the fact that they might believe those things.
Yeah.
These are pointers that the girls might be concerned about. I've had conversations with them before about certain areas. Remember, I don't know the players. There's a point in there about not knowing the players. We knew the players. We never know the players, all the players so well the first time we came in because it's the first time we seen the girls. Right? They only have to remember one name, And they don't remember the name and they can't say coach. That's it.
Yes, that is true. That is true.
So when it's foolishness about we don't know players. I saw my assistant coach stand up with girls around him and call every single one of the names. And we know the personality and everything. That's why I tell you this is coming from way back when we never know the name of the players. Right?
Let me say this.
I knew most of the names, but my other coaches didn't know because they didn't. Some the only probably know is Bonnie. Then we get to know Trudy. Then we get to know Jody Brown. So it was a process. Any team you go to, if you go to a school right now and take over the program, you don't know the boys or the girls' name. I used to have an exercise that I do that get them to each other. The girls themselves don't even know each other's name. When you have a national program that comes in, and the girls are coming from Montreal base and St. James, from Chillan and they come into camp, they don't know each other's names. And that's why I had an exercise that we usually do that they would know each other's name, try to speed up the process. So if I come in as a coach, it's the same thing I'm going to face it. So I tell you that it's non-football minds that know no national program that instigated this letter, because they don't know what that can. If they come into an environment right now, right, and them have 20 players, I want to see them understand the name of the players for the next day. They don't know.
Yeah.
I used to do a special exercise when my players come in that you have to call the name before you throw the ball to the person, and the person have to answer and keep circulating around. And after about 10 minutes, they each kind of know each other's name in a sense, right? But when you come into an environment and you don't know the names, it's not an indictment. If it was 2 weeks after, 3 weeks after, we don't know the players.
Hey, these things, listen, let me tell you, these, like I'm saying,
they were clutching for straws.
People, let me say this to you. All right. So let me just, Carl Blake, let me just respond to Carl Blake. He says, "Man, I hear your point. Thank you, sir." He says, "Thank you for your comment, Carl." He says, "Do you honestly think Vin Blaine can go back into the dressing room with these players?" I think it is very difficult. And that is why I'm saying my suggestion would be to leave it. And listen, I know Coach Blaine probably more than some of you, right? I know he loves the football, and I said it before, more than the position. And he will leave it, not because he think that he did something wrong, but he will do what is in the best interest of the football, whatever that is. I don't speak for him, but the person I know, that's what I'll say, right? And I'm not telling you he's perfect, but from my experience, I can speak to that. Let me say this. I don't have an issue with people or the girls having a problem. I don't have an issue with them outlining their problems. I don't have an issue with them even talking publicly about their problem, even though I would not do that. Here is what I have an issue with. When the issue is going to determine whether or not you play in the next World Cup qualifying game for the country. That is the issue I have. If the letter outlined the points without inferring that we are not going to play if this person remains, you have outs a person basically without giving them an opportunity to vindicate themselves, let me use that word, or to go to court. In other words, you have said, listen, unless you get rid of all tourists, say, I don't want to, let me use no far off example, but that is the main issue I have. If the letter had all the points, except saying, we will not come and play, I would have loved to have heard, listen, we enjoy playing for the country. We believe for us to advance to the next level, Coach Blaine may not be the best coach. And here are some of the reasons. I would have accepted that. You understand me, Coach Blaine?
Yeah.
I would have accepted that. If they came out and said, listen, based on these factors, we believe going ahead, we need somebody with more, whatever. I can understand that.
Let me say this to you.
When you come out and say, if he remains, basically, we're not going to play again.
Right.
That to me is blackmail.
But let me tell you something. Let me call you Manning's man now. Omar. Let me tell you. Let me call you your stage name, right?
Yes,
your TV name. Manning's man. Listen, I have made my point absolutely clear. First of all, let me tell you, Carl Blake, that's a very good question, Carl. I'm very, because that's a question that is something that I've asked myself and everybody asking, and I don't believe that to come into an environment that's toxic is very hard as a coach. But let me tell you something, Manning's man. Let me tell you something right at the bottom. You see, if I knew this was genuinely the players that wrote this, I would walk away immediately. I would have absolutely no problem with it if I know this is coming from the players. But if I can tear apart their 17 bullet points and show you 4 areas that they're absolutely wrong about me not having a schedule, me not doing it in the video, me not doing all these things, right? Those 4 points that I can prove that they're not talking the truth should shut up their credibility completely. You could see that they're reaching for something to blame this coaching staff about, just to make a point or achieve what they're trying to achieve. But I can shut it completely, right? I can show you a comprehensive thing that you can look at that show you that doing. And as a matter of fact, I'm going to send you one right now, and you look at it and you can explain to your viewers. I'm going to send it in your WhatsApp.
Listen,
right?
Listen. If you have anything you want to that you've
no, there are certain things I have to keep. Certain things I have to understand. No, but I'm going to show you something right now. I'm going to show point to you right now that you can look at it. You can open it and you see exactly what's in there, right? That was sent to them, right? And they must stop it. Right.
So all I'm saying, like, so people, let me get back to it. And thanks to all of the comments, I'm going to bring up some more of them for coach to respond to. So what I am saying is this. If the girls could have asked the letter, and I'm only responding to the letter, the players could have asked for the coach to leave. Do not put in there not coming back to play. Because you have...
Right. I get you.
That's the principle, people.
Yeah.
In other words,
and in saying that also, Amar, what they're saying is that they don't care about the country. They care about
that's the point I'm making. That I don't want us to miss. That the fact that the letter says, if this person remains in the job, in other words, understand this. It is so serious to them, whomever constructed this, that they would rather us not, because Mr. Blaine don't have to leave. I don't realize if people realize, if Mr. Blaine decides that he's going to stay in, we're going to have to use the under 17 side.
Argument done.
Because they all decide that they're not coming back to play.
Right.
That is the biggest issue I have with it. Ask for him to go, bring up all the issues you have with him, but don't bring up not playing back for the country.
And let me explain to you, they all don't say that, because I've spoken to people who say they don't agree with that position, but they sign it. And that's why I know they will sign a document that they were never explained properly about. Right? A double thing. The first document I sent you is the one that they say they never get any fixture, no schedule. And that one will show you exactly what was sent to them on the 29th of March, completely with all the set plays in there that they said they never get. Or they never do anything, right? And then the other one shows you the daily schedule that we sent to them. So that's why I know this was not written by them, right? Look, scroll down and see if this is set plays in there.
All right, I'm looking at. I see this is a complete roster.
Yes.
Of the 11th, the 12th, and the 13th.
Scroll down. Scroll right down, and you see the set plays that was sent to them. And that was sent to all the players individually and also in their group.
Whoa.
And I bring this on to say to you that it goes to show you that they had ulterior motives from the beginning. Because if they knew this, why would they write that? The players would never write that because they had the information. And the other areas are just general areas about no tactical session, no this or that. If all those 11 points were not done and we win 4 games, boy, we are geniuses.
Yeah, I see. Everything is outlined here.
Everything is outlined. You can tell your viewers that. Everything is outlined. And they said they never get those things.
The players got this information from the 9th of March.
The 29th of March again.
The 29th of March.
April the 4th. And it was sent to each player individually, plus also in their group that was created by the manager. Right? And if you saw the other one that showed you dates for the day, like the 12th, the 13th.
I saw everything. That's what I'm saying.
Right. It shows you the breakfast time, it shows you lunch time, it shows you meeting time, it shows you departure for training time, it shows you training time, it shows you dinner time, and it shows you lights out. So why would they come and say that in a letter? Without even consulting me to say that's not true.
All right. So Nia says if Mr. Blaine believes that the girls were maneuvered into signing the letter, it is contradictory to also say that he's giving great weight to statements in the letter saying they won't play if he stays.
No. I didn't do that, Neo. I didn't say I give them.
I am the one saying that, Neo.
I didn't say that, Neo.
I am the one referring to that part of the letter.
Never said that, Neo.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And from what I know, you have been working, like I will say it again, with some of these girls from under 17.
As I repeat, I don't expect
Well,
them
you
to
don't
do
really, yeah.
You know, I really don't. I'm just saying that I want them to speak truth to what they're saying and not make other people influence them to say things that they mustn't say and do things they mustn't do because of their own interest. And all those people I'm talking about know who they are. And I hope they see this thing. And they won't like me. They don't like me already. And they further won't like me again.
Oh, yeah. I see paper plate saying that. So who are these people?
I can't name paper plate. It's like how you don't paper plate. It's like how you don't give your right name. I can't call names. I can be sued. Right? They know who they are. I wish I could. I really wish I could.
And then Brain Drain is saying that maybe the reason why you're trying to keep on fighting is because maybe you went to KFC and you believe the brave may fall, but never get fired.
No.
He actually went to KFC, Brain Drain. So, and that you're right. Brain Drain is a collaborator, but
something that I know can happen. I mean, let me tell you something. You see, if JFF came into me and said, "Win, we're getting rid of you," I would accept it and move on. Because I know it was genuine, you know. But when you as adults try to influence players and influence people to come up and join your bandwagon and your narrative and what you expect, this is sad. It's sad. They don't like me and they will never like me and they don't want to like me. You understand me? What I wanted to do is to leave the technical side of the things to the players and not anybody else.
Foreign Spider is asking if since all of this has happened, if the JFF has a dialogue with you about the situation, or is there any meeting planned to discuss the situation?
Well, the General Secretary and I spoke. Up to today, he and I spoke. And I expect further communication with them. Okay, so you have been in touch. They're quite pleased, not pleased. Let me know you're pleased because I don't want to get them in trouble either. But they are trying to resolve the situation. Me, personally, my own feeling. The Gen Sec say he has not heard from me on my position. But I'm reserving my position right now. You know, because somebody said to me I should play poker with them and call them bluff. You know what? It's as I don't want to get into certain areas. It's up to the Gen Sec and the president to get into that area. I can't tell them they're my boss. I can't tell them what to do. I respect them, and that's part of why I'm in trouble now because I don't come out and kill them on the air. And the Gen Sec will tell you that what I respect his position. I respect he's my boss, right? And he and I have good conversations. We have rough conversations too, but I'm not going on the media and disclose those things because I'm not there to disrespect anyone in the federation. I might have differences, but it's for me to work it out. Let me tell you, we had differences. They had the girls for 3.5 years and couldn't get them a contract to be signed by the girls. I did it in a month and a half with meaningful conversation with the General Secretary. Meaningful conversation with the General Secretary who I went back and forth. The girl said, "I want this." He says, "No." I go back to the girl. He said, "Okay." And until we get to a situation where the girls were okay with the contract, they got an improvement on their match fees. They got a situation where everybody get the same amount of money, where they come on in the field for 10 minutes or 5 minutes or 2 minutes, and the General Secretary agreed to that. Right? They all were given an option to have a discussion around the percentage that they get if we go to the World Cup. It wasn't cast in stone, and the General Secretary did that. All those things were done with fruitful discussions, meaningful discussion. I'm not here to bash like what the previous coaches were doing to JFF. Every minute they run into the media house and JFs that are thieves and they are this and they are that. I have heard it, and I'm not into that. I say to them, I can't win a fight by fighting outside the ring. I have to get inside the ring and fight. And by getting inside the ring, I have to be in the trenches with the general secretary and the president and whoever is in charge. Right? And have meaningful discussions. Fighting and carrying on shows lack of intelligence. Right? When you can have fruitful discussions, you achieve your goals. I achieved and getting their contract for them even before the campaign started, right? Before I even coach one day, because I believe that's an era. I said to the president and the general secretary, we have to make the players comfortable because they are now professionals and we have a good team, but they have to be comfortable. And they were comfortable signing the contract. They are now uncomfortable now, whether they're being led. I believe that in my mind that they're being led, but that's their choice. That's their choice to come out and say what they say and do what they do. They are big women. They're grown women. It's their choice. I can't blame them. If I was to blame them, I wouldn't be in a position to oppose anything that the JFF does. I would have the right to do it. I probably wouldn't have done it the way they did it. But I don't blame them. I don't think it's them put out in the media. I really don't think it's them put out in the media. I don't know what came up. I don't think when they put out, when they had a meeting with the president, they could have sent out before that meeting. So I respect
the players at a meeting with the president.
Yeah, the players. No, not the players. Whoever went to the meeting, it was with the president. That's why he was presented the letter.
Oh, so the persons who presented the letter, this letter that is out, they met with the president.
Yes. So I know it wasn't sent out before. So I can't. You see, let me tell you.
Okay.
Although I have differences now, I'm not gonna talk bad things about people when I know it's not there. They had a meeting with the president, right? And they didn't send it out. I don't know who sent it out. I know a media was called on Thursday.
I see what you mean.
Send it out. So I know it wasn't out because if it was out, other media persons would be calling me and asking me for it, and I never sent it out.
We need to find out if that is the leaker.
It was out. It has been out from yesterday.
I'm wondering if it is a leaker who sent it out.
Probably. We never one thing with these things, when they go, the media person not going to tell you who sent to them. Because
I need to investigate the leaker. Have this person management stop go around the saying money run football over the world. I think once the money people want you to go, you have to go. Don't know about that. But Carl says, Mr. Blaine, let us say the players have quit on you. What would be your approach to fix this and get the players back? And does it matter if it's only one player or 21 player against you?
Well, let me answer the last part first. If one player is against you, most time when the players are against you because they're not getting a game, from my experience. So if 21 players decide them staying, or 20 players decide out of 20 decide them staying, I don't have a problem. I have a core group to play with, to work with. I'll be foolhardy to say, this one person, so I'm not going to deal with it. No. I just say I coach Premier League. And I have players who weren't playing on the left and go train with Tivoli and then come back to me to train. And I tell them to go back the way they're coming from. Because you can't be in my training and go train for another club and then come back to me and say you want to come train again. No. Take your choices. Either go to this team or you stay with me. They choose to go on team and train for a couple of days. When they come back and put on my clothes on a Friday evening, I ask them where they work. Because what happened is a small community. The person from Tivoli called me and said these two boys are training down here. Because the thing is, you have to, anytime you want a player to go train or not, the thing is, the process is you have to tell the coach that the players coming to you, the other club that they're coming from, right? So if one player decided they want to play for me, that's nothing. They go find another team to play for. So I don't have a problem, right? If the players quit on me, right, and none of them want to play for me, then what's the sense I'm staying there for?
Yeah. Somebody saying, is Coach Vin Blaine open to the idea of professional neutral mediators? There are good mediators on both sides of the pond. Jamaica or the USA? That's what Nia is asking.
When
Are
you have
you?
Neo, when you have a mediator, you have two people at conflict. I don't have conflict with the players. I don't have any conflict with the players. The players have a conflict with me. But I've not said anything bad about the players. What I'm saying, what I've pointed out in the meeting so far, in the blog so far, is that I don't believe it's them write the letter. I know they don't write the letter. I repeat, I don't. So it only we have a mediator with a husband and wife. They told them going at each other, and you go counseling because they told them can't see eye to eye. Right? I'm not. I think I think the players want a different type of thing. They want to be sat down with a psychologist and say, listen, this is the situation. If they want a meeting with me and the players, I have no problem though. I have no problem sitting in the players and hear what they're saying. I've done it before in a lesser group. I've done it before. I've done it with the captain, the vice captain, and another player more than one time, and we go over different things. I even gave them the authority to come and question and talk to us about the training sessions that was done in the day. Right? I gave them that permission. So you guys can come to me and we sit about and we discuss the training session and what do you think? What do you like? Do you like? And just that thing I never done before, and a lot of people don't do that. I don't think any coach should do that. But I gave them that authority to come to me and let us discuss it after the training session, right? They choose otherwise. I can't help them.
How does this? I think again for me, the bigger issue is what happens because the longer this lingers on, it is the shorter the preparation, the management, and the arrangement for the round that starts here in July.
But the preparation, we still have a month out for preparation because they're still playing in their leagues. So we had planned to have a preparation period from around the 15th of June to the 26th, right? And then we were planning one from the 26th to the 2nd, from the 26th right through to the tournament finish in Mexico, because at that time in Mexico it's very, very hot. But I hear the games will play at night. So all those preparations are being put in place. I don't know if it's being it's delayed now. It's put on hold now. I don't know because
but can you make preparations if you are not sure if you're going to be the coach? What if the other coach that they're going to bring in have a total different way of preparing his team? What can you really do?
That's right. That's why I tell you it's on hold. It's on hold until everything is cleared up. From my understanding, it's on hold, and I'm not pushing it either. I'm in limbo right now as it is, and as I said before, I think I said other places too, that the people in charge of this decision are the president and the general secretary. I know they want me. They'll say to me, they don't want me to go or whatever, but it's just more than just saying it like that. I think this needs more than just saying, "Oh, I'm not going." I can be a person that say, "Oh, I'm not going," and then force them to fire me or retain me, and then also look on which one of the players will be coming. But will that help our national program? I don't know.
Yeah. Somebody's asking Siobhan. Thanks for your question, Siobhan. Is it the Alphabet Association, Mr. Blade? I think he's trying to. I don't know what the I'm very lost. I don't have a clue.
I don't know. I'm not up on that either. I don't know.
I don't know what Alphabet Association means. Siobhan. But I know you mentioned earlier, and so there's a discussion that they're having. About the players who get paid. Even the players in college still get a stipend for playing nationally.
Yeah, only the ones that are in college that can't get it, because it will be held against them. Some of them don't get it. Yeah. But I know the NCAA rules have changed about that, so they can get money for expenses, but it can't be turned a stipend. I mean, what's it called now? Per diem. I don't think so.
All right. Let me go back, because what Coach Blaine explained about the letter is that they were sent, and you can correct me, Coach, if I'm wrong. They were sent one letter to read. They were sent a second document to sign. So the possibility exists that what they saw
and read,
in the first, what they read in the first document may not have been what they were signing to in the second document. So he said that based on his own investigation, they were told that for the next player to sign it, like for Neo to sign it, I would have to sign it first.
Yeah, for you to pass on to Neo to sign, you have to sign it first.
Right. So
I
they
don't know
signed.
what is.
Okay.
I mean,
Well,
is a player who tell me that. Is a player who told me that.
A player who said that they don't agree with the contents of the letter, or at least some of the contents of the letter.
Yeah, the player said she is in agreement with a couple of the bullet points, but she did not agree with the fact that they want to get rid of staff. And not one person said that to me.
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
So,
more than, and I know you said at least one parent had a problem with their daughter signing
that she couldn't
right.
read. She couldn't open. Yeah.
She couldn't open.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm not saying these things, to taint anyone, but it's just a fact that I just don't believe they're the ones that instigate the whole thing.
All right. So listen, the outside influencers.
Let me answer Chris first. Chris, I didn't count. I got that from other players also who spoke to their teammates, and so I know a few of them tell me that they didn't agree. But I hear that a majority of them said they're not in agreement. But I didn't ask her to tell me how many either. A
majority of them are not in agreement, but you don't have a number. Okay.
Yeah, I don't have a number.
All right. So okay. So, all right. My Lord. So they sign up the paper to them. No, I don't know about that. You see, I don't want to get into calling like the player's name. You understand? Because I have a lot of love for the players. So this is it, Coach. All right. So I was going to say outside influencers. You see, I've given Coach Blaine a lot of time to explain himself. I'm also going to make sure that he says if he wants you to listen. He said, I hope the outside influencers are watching this video and listening to it. So he was very direct in his comment to you. He says, you know who you are. All right. So what you need to do is call I Am Sure Sports and come and refute what he has said if there's anything to refute. But this has to be resolved because we have a World Cup campaign that needs to be organized. This cannot happen.
Listen, Manning's man. Let me tell you how deep this thing got before I started. You have people sending articles in the girls' group chat, right? An article that was attributed to me from 2016 that says the article that said that homosexuality crippling women's football in Jamaica, Vin Blaine, right? And I proved that I never said it. I had to prove that I never said it to CONCACAF and FIFA, who I was working at the time. 2016.
Oh.
Well, no, 2016. I had to prove to CONCACAF and FIFA that I never said such thing. And I'm a type of person that I write emails. So when the article came out, I wrote email to the person. I said, I never said those things. Please take them out of the article. And I had everything that I had in an email. I kept that email because I know people. I had that email in those emails in a folder. Somebody, let me tell you, past coaches of the Reggae Girls who didn't want to see me in the program, dig up that article from 2016 and post it in the girls' chat that they were a part of, and said, "I'm not good for the program." Why would you want to do that? Another one sent it to his daughter to send to my assistant coach. And so when my assistant coach sent it to me, I said, this is from 2016. And I showed him the articles and the emails that I disputed the whole thing. I even started to sue the winner, and I withdrew the suit. Because my poor friend who wrote the article is dead now. Right? And When he called back the young lady and said, so do you know this is from 2016? She said, no. Her dad just gave her the article, sent an article and said, must send it to you to show you who you are working with. That is how far they went.
Whoa.
Before I even blew a whistle, that's where they started out. Right? And I'm making it clear now because they must know, because they have friends who listen here. And I hope they send it to them and say what Vin Blaine said and let them dispute it. Because a player told me that. A player told me to send to them. Before I even had a meeting with the girls that was sent to them. Why do you think that sent that to them? What is their MO for that to do that?
Yeah.
Right. So you're so deep it went. You have people in the camp. You have people in the camp that the first camp I was calling them, telling them about sessions. And it's foolishness and whatever. I tell you that. So you must, and you see where you know it's going. They don't want me to win. And if I don't win, the girls would not win. And Jamaica would but they prefer that Vin Blaine don't do well to prove their own point. Right? Yeah. Why? And then they talk about they are Jamaicans and they love Jamaica. They don't love Jamaica. They love to prove the point that they are better coaches or they're better whatever. That's not my aim. I've never said anything bad about them in public or anywhere else. I might have discussion about them. And if I'm doing that, I mean, my friends, just like how you would have a conversation with your friends and you discuss certain things, but they can't go to hear with it. And we are open to that. But when you're going to try and sully a man's reputation and do things like that, and
that's not good, yeah.
2016, 6 years ago, and you dig up an article to prove what point are you proving. But there's a thing called karma, you know. There's a thing called karma, and I believe in it, and God not sleeping.
Yeah, I see one of your former players and calling to talk to you, Coach Boris Johnson. What are you doing?
Good night.
DJ, I call you back, but you're here.
Yeah, I was on a program. Make sure the public know what's going on. But let me say this, Mr. Blaine, I would even say Mr. Blaine, Coach Blaine. I mean, I told him on several platforms, we have the opportunity of sitting in a coaching course that prepared us. You understand? And we know your integrity, we know your credibility, and we can go on and on. So whatever they're throwing out there, as I told them before, it's sad and it's petty, and it just shows how much and what interest people have in terms of our football, in terms of Jamaica. Because one, you have given up a lot just to come back. I would have talked about from where you start preparing these young ladies before anybody knew they could qualify for any World Cup. You understand? I wouldn't even go back so far because time won't allow me. But as I say, those who know you know. You understand? And I just came off our platform a while ago to make the public know that half of what you're reading, and I told management before, it's nothing but rubbish and clearly a factor to derail something good. And it's nothing strange. I mean, we see it happen with the meal program. So it's nothing strange and it's nothing surprising. But as I said before, one need to sit back and look and understand who is Vin Blaine and what Vin Blaine has done and keep on doing for Jamaica football. I said it before, we keep on and we come with nonsense and we try and we keep on pushing away people with great resources, great passion, done so much for the sport, away from the sport. And then we're trying to get this big everlasting World Cup so we can qualify for this and we qualify for that. It's rubbish. It's rubbish. It's rubbish. It's rubbish. And I make no apology to say it's rubbish. Because as I said, we who know your court, we know it. You understand? Now, if I tell them, we understand the professional system and we understand how professional work. They want their way, and as soon as they can't get their way, because team is what comes first, then we start having problems. But coach, don't worry yourself.
Come on.
Don't worry yourself, coach. I don't say, don't worry yourself. Your wealth and knowledge, and as I sit here, I look at that lovely photograph with our good friend from Italy with that coaching course. I can't forget it.
Yeah, man.
But people need Massimo.
Massimo Lucchesi.
But people need to understand what's going on and what's derailing the football so we can't have the right success. And these are the things that doing it. People behind the scene create problem, create mockery, and mess up a whole good thing. We see that with the meal program, and I would suggest to JFF, do not sit and allow it. Because I tell them before, there's no problem with Mr. Vin. If we have agreement with JFF, let us satisfy the agreement and I will go my lovely way. Because I told them the same problem as came about a couple years ago. And you made the same decision because of the love of the game and the interest of the country, which a lot of people are not willing to step up to the plate and make. They come with some little ego and they spoil up a good thing. Let me say this to the girls, and this is directed to the girls. I just came out of graduation ceremony, and one of the biggest thing I take from what the speaker said was, as you sit here and graduate, don't forget the people that brought you to where you are now so you can graduate it. Man is man.
Yeah, man.
Coach Ben,
yeah, man.
Have a lovely night.
Well said, well said.
Thanks, BJ. Nice to see you.
Blessing.
Yeah, man.
Blessing.
Well said, BJ. Well said. Yeah, man. Big up Ryan LFC in the building. Yeah, man. So Coach Blaine, like Barry says, I think it tough. Like you say, if you know it was the girls. But I think, listen, yeah, your reputation, I feel like your reputation is bigger than this. I honestly, like me, I wouldn't even fight it because you say karma. I tell people this. A man will reap what he sows, more than he sows, and later than he sows. Mm-hmm. Say it again. You reap what you sow, you reap more than you sow, and you reap later than you sow. Mm-hmm. I always tell people that. And I also tell them this. You see, in the end, the truth will win out. Mm-hmm. You see, if you are wrong in this, it will be proven. Mm-hmm. But you see, if they are wrong, to their own detriment, it will be proven.
Because I understand now, though, Omari, I have not seen anybody on social media that says, "Boy, the girls are wrong and we should do something are right," and I've not seen it, right? Because it's kind of difficult to say, a man win 4 games and get in the final round, and then you come up with this thing now about getting rid of the coaching staff. And then them never say Vin being alone, them say coaching staff. They start out by saying about leadership, and then they say the staff cannot take them. The staff don't have the knowledge, and the personnel to take them to the next round. So what I said to them, listen now, and if I cut one and two of them who don't have the knowledge, you hear something else, Because not all them performing the way I want them to perform. But they don't pay attention to that learning process, they pay attention to the coach. It's like you're blaming the hammer that why it's being driving properly. So as I said, I'm open. I'm not I'm really not perturbed about it. I'm disappointed because now I have to make a decision with country or
sure sports.
Yeah. Hold on. Let me let Coach Blaine finish. This is Ryan LFC. Run the platform over there. That's where Coach Boris was. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Yes, Ryan. Welcome.
Good evening to your panelists and good evening to the people them down in the comment section.
Yes, sir.
My name's man. You see when people are plan, may I tell you, it's a hell of a thing. May I tell you, say, before this brother I get the job, I was at downtown Toronto, me an halftime TV. And the day when me down there, the evening when me down there, the man called me. A man called me about 1,000 times and said, Ryan, you have to do a video about this. I'm going to give you 300 Canadian. So I say, what is this about? Just to do a video about it. All right.
be honest with you, brother, me's not really a big fan when it come on to the reggae girls. You understand? I watch them when me a youngster over on the garden, when Gilbert coaching them and all of them stuff there. But my great never have much more interest in woman football. But when me a try say, before that brother I get the job, the man say, Ryan, you is the only man who can come do a 2-hour show to burn the steam pan your guests. So me I say, why you want to give me this bad news? Why you don't give somebody else the bad news? Seeing man's man? So me I say, bro, me not feel it. And me I say to the nether youth, and me I say, yo brother, you know, me not feel to do that video about that person. Because they must send me the article and all of the thing, the information about the brother. So when me do so boom, me I tell him, say, yo, me not do the video, you know. Me not go do the video. Here comes now, this week, Baga scandal come. Brother, I know Vin Blake from nowhere. I never exchange word with him. But you see, sometime in life, karma is a thing. Brother, before the man get the job, man, may I say this. Them never want him get the job. People, big people, we're in a society.
I'm willing to pay you $300 to do a video about him.
300 Canadian dollar, brother. 300 Canadian dollar. See? Because the man say, Ryan, you are the only man can do it for stir up the party. And for some reason, I feel the vibes to do it. See? And today, when me hear the thing all over the way, you know, it's the first video this me do behind it. And the information where the man them give me from day one, I say everything I come to pass, I say, yo, I see why they want me to do the video, because at the time, the Football Federation didn't give the man the job as yet. Manning's man. The man never get the job as yet. And now we are here this. Brother, we need to stop them thing the bridging. Zine, people whosoever do them thing, me know say Manning's man, may I tell you this. Is no woman get up and say this. People are putting in the females them head. See, I don't know if coach, whether I'm going to be the job, whether I'm going to be the right man or him not going to get them to the World Cup, brother. But just people just low thing and make things fun. No Manning's man, may I tell you. And I can't even hook up my nether bridging because the Saturday when me and him they downtown Toronto. Man, I say, Ryan, if you don't feel it, because some mistake, I work off on my spirit. And I tell the man, say, yo, I don't feel comfortable, I do the thing. And the thing about...
Hold on. Where's you work off a white rum? Spirit? Where's it?
I say, yo, my spirit, I tell you, I work off, brother, you go on some coolness again. The Manning's man.
All right.
So when the man I say him for do it, I tell him, say, yo, I not feel the vibe, brother, because I work off on my energy. My spirit. You see? And at the same thing when me I listen to the interview where the coach I say about this gay look thing and all of them things. Not no go so, brother. Me never hear me I try to find an interview when him say that, and whole day to them me I look preparation for my show. I'm gonna hear where him say that. And the man them have all it in an article, you know, brother. It all an article.
That's what Coach Vane was saying. They picked up the article from 2016 and posted it in the thing. So it's very interesting that you said before he got the job. Once his name came up,
me get three. I can't remember the article them where the man show me and I say, yo, this is what happened. Him can't be the coach. And me know why them do it. Cause the man say, yo, Ryan, I'm a good friend this. The brother, you have to get back the job. Yo, you see the man them brother and man them for top them foolishness, the brother. The man them for stop them foolishness, the bridging, and just allow people to do them job, brother. Anyway, brother.
Hey, Ryan, thank you.
Your show.
Yeah, man, thank you for that. Really appreciate that, man.
Yourself. Watch the show. Watch your show. I can see the man tear up. Bro, I know that brother a long time and I never speak to him. He always come up from my school, come pick up somebody. You understand? Up at Excelsior. But I can see the man tone. And brother, when I did the video, I reach out to a couple reggae boys player. And then I say, Ryan, I'm one of the smartest guys in our football. And the man them never have nothing bad when I do the preparation for the video today.
But that's listen, Ryan, you make a very big point. People, talk to any of the players in Jamaica or Grenada. that Mr. Vin Blaine has coached and find one, we have a bad report. You're right, Ryan.
Bro, me do the research, come here and say, yo, I want to get to the bed. And my last person I call, Richard Edwards, I'm have an academy in Canada. I'm going to say, what type of person this brother is? Because you know, I want to do a video and I'm going to say, Ryan, one of the smartest person in Jamaican football. You see? But it seems like Blake, may I do the research, may I tell you the truth, bro? The guest we have on the show now, the coach.
Yeah, man.
Coach. It seems like it teach a lot of people, big people, can behind the scene. That's how I never leave it this.
Yeah. Ryan, let me tell you, them can't control me. That's why. They can't manage me and manipulate me. That's why. Right? And Richard Edwards can tell you, Richard played for me when I won Premier League with Abbeville. Richard was my central midfielder. Short man. Right?
Yeah.
So when people cannot manipulate you, it's just like you and the man that came to you say must write something bad about me. And you do your research and you make sure you use your brain. Nobody must be able to manipulate you like that. So I appreciate that because it backed me up to say when I started up, before I started up, they came with the foolishness. They don't know my background. They just came with personal things against me. No history. You know, but you see, when you live a life that you help people and you work with people, right? What you worry about? You can't stop some of the negative things, and they say things that they do have any factual things about. But that's it. That's what it is all about. And I appreciate you taking that position and then do the research and realize that it wasn't truthful.
Yeah, man. But big up yourself, Virgin, and want to see the country. Whatever problem and thing, try to sit down with me and just try to get over it. And if not, I don't know what you're going to do. Because when based on my research, the man him say, yo, you don't really need this job for take care of your family. You're good, you're fine, everything. Because when I do research, you know, and go and talk to people, you know, a deep go, you know. You understand? Yeah. Because I don't want nobody think I'm bringing no false news on them. So when I come accurate and thing. And that's why I love myself. I work out for the spirit. Because the man call me about does the time. I say, yo, after I can't deal with that man, you know, brother. Why the man just want? I say, why not give somebody else, brother? That why I me? Mm-hmm. But sometimes them say, oh, brother, so they're too low that you know go in him there. But anyway, big up on yourself, brother. Great shit.
Take care, man.
Respect, LFC. Yeah, man, thanks for the call, bro. Yeah. Wow, this is more serious than I thought. Listen, people, you're having this discussion. People's preferences, whether in food or sex, is up to them. Like, listen, I whatever your lifestyle is, for me, if I'm running a team, I'm fine. Don't bring it in the team environment. In other words, if you're a pickpocket, when they run my team, don't pick nobody's pocket. You understand me? Don't let your lifestyle, whatever it is, interfere or get it into the team. As long as you can do that, it's fine. So we don't need to, you understand, we don't need to discuss that. And I know that is the coach's position. Whatever your lifestyle is, it's your lifestyle. Don't bring it into the team setting and let it affect the whole team chemistry and culture and all of that. Because you're adult.
Manning's man. Let me tell you something. Hey, your voice drop out of it. Let me tell you something. What people who don't know me will say these things. And with no reason. That's what people say. With no reason. Yeah. So I don't worry about it.
Yeah.
I don't worry about it.
Yeah.
People know me and what is the show can call and tell you. I look at
Hello?
Hold on for Mr. Blaine, sir.
Yes.
All right.
Go ahead, coach. Finish what you were saying. All right, caller, go ahead. What's your name?
Good afternoon, good night. This is Beggar Man.
Oh, Beggar Man.
Yeah.
The big goalkeeper.
You know what? The same one, the same old man coach, yeah, the same coach, same one. The same ate, the same one. Mr. Blaine Blaine.
Yes, sir.
Let me ask you a few questions. Because I know you don't do them things here. Did you try to touch the girls them?
Touch them?
Yeah.
No, boss.
All right, well, I know. So we are good so far. You did you ever try to abuse none of them?
Not one, my brother. I tell you, let me tell you.
No, man, I think he's trying to make a point. Says asking a series of questions.
Yeah.
So let him finish.
No,
Go
let
ahead.
me try to show you, Mr. Vin.
Yeah,
He said, if I discipline you put in, forget this thing in order,
yeah,
I saw it go.
yeah,
Because if all them later, they will put up. Vin, I know you. I know you.
yeah, man.
I know you from a long time. I beg you, man, some swallow for you.
Yeah, man. Yeah,
I'm
man.
going to tell you something. He said, if I discipline you put in on the program to make the program work,
Mm-hmm.
don't make the boy push you out.
Yeah,
Don't
man.
make the boy come style you and push you out.
Yeah, man.
Walk out if you want to walk out. Don't
Exactly.
make them style you and push you out.
Exactly.
Because you have been winning all of them things from day one. And remember, we never hear a girl in Jamaica say, oh, Mr. Vin doing. So that means they're clean.
Never.
So I try though, and I try to put you down. Yo, Mr. Bling, hear me I say no. Manning, hear me I say. That's all I'm come to ask him is 2 questions. And he clear them 2 questions there. That means that, Mr. Vin, I don't want you follow them and tell you you're resigning, I tell you the truth, brother.
Yeah.
I don't want you follow them. Guys say if you resign them, I'm going to win.
Yeah.
If you resign them, I'm going to win.
Yeah.
Me I tell you, I'm after here, I'm listening.
Yeah, man.
Good night, good evening, and good night. Me I listen.
Big up, man.
Take care, man.
Yeah, man. So, coach, the floor is yours. I'm telling you, this is, I'm telling you, I still go have to wrap my head around this because
man, let me give some history to people who don't know my background in female football, right? I used to coach. I started a program down by Kingston Senior High School in the inner city, right? Then I moved on to someone asked me to go to St. Hughes. I was there for a while, and while I'm in St. Hughes, I was invited. I was asked to come and coach the University of the West Indies team, and then the national program, and then Harborview. When I went to Harborview was getting 13 and 16 love. When I went to Harborview, I weed out some of the girls in discipline, and I never lost a game after that more than 3 or 2. And I won 5 straight knockout competitions and a women's Premier League. It was me and Barbican at the time that were fighting it out. When I went there, they were the first year I went there. I saw them playing one day at Ewing, and they got 16 love, right? And somebody asked me to take over the team, and I took over the team. From that next season, the most we ever lost, I think, is 3-1 or 2-1, and we never lost many games. It was us and Barbican and our team from Montego Bay and Portmore strikers that were fighting it out. And I won a Premier League with them. I won everything with the university. Tri-Nation with girls with 2 good players on the team. Beat up GC Foster and win competition. I mean, GC Foster was GC Foster, right? I had players who lived with me. I took players who were gay and lived with me because I had them under my roof with my wife, and they got to send them to school. And being gay never mattered to me, right? So when people try to taint me and say these things, they don't know me, right? I started Harborview football. I took over the football team at Harborview, right? I dropped on the players at the evening time and make sure they reach home.
And a lot of the players in the team now played for you at Harborview.
Yes, all of them. Even Kanye Plummer, that's not here.
Khadija,
Denisha Blackwood, that's not here.
Bunny played at Harborview?
Bunny's the only coach here in Jamaica was me, apart from my high school coach.
And Andrew Price?
Bunny only played for Harborview till she got a scholarship.
Didn't Andrew Price coach her in one of those junior teams?
No. He was
assistant
with the senior team. No. He never coached her. Never.
Okay.
The only coach in Jamaica apart from our school coach was me. I bring her from her school coach. I pick her up from Jago. A friend of mine called me and said, there's a player at St. Joe, big, and she'll play. And I went over there, saw her, brought her to Harborview, back and forth from our house from the school to the Harborview back to our house. And I brought her in the national program, and she was 15-year-old. She played under 17 at that age. She played under 20 when she was 17, or plus 15 plus. You know, so I know all of them, but I have never ever been in a situation. I don't cross borders in front of them. If I cross a border at my house, so to myself. But none of my players from men are the same. Richard Edwards Ryan talked about. He played for me at Abbeville when I win Premier League. I won Premier League. I coached Abbeville Premier League in 1 year and I won it, the competition. I coached Abbeville under 15 boys 1 year and I won the competition. Right. So people don't know my background. You know, and when I went to Grenada, I coached under 15 girls in 1 year. I trained from December to August 2018. And we never lost again. Went to the finals. First in ever time they ever went to finals in any category at IMG in Florida. So when people start talking these things, that they only do this thing for their own personal thing. You understand me? It's just a personal. They don't know anything about my background. As I said in some places, some of these coaches who talking, even the blogs right now, were in diapers when I was coaching and winning. They don't know anything about me. And they don't do research. You should like how these youngsters say he researches and never want to discuss it. That's what they must do. Do their research.
Yeah, I mean, the people who say they don't, they need to go and check.
Everything is on the internet. Everything's on the internet now.
They need to go check the history of Harborview, Kingston College, all of those places.
Yeah.
But I mean, but somebody made a point earlier. I think that people, come on. This man has been in female football for over 20 odd years. Come on. Not just in Jamaica.
Yeah.
Overseas.
Yeah, man.
So come on, man.
When I went to Grenada, I qualified the under 20 team for the final round of Conca Cup. When I had the under 15 in Grenada, they went to the finals of the under 15 tournament in IMG. So people must, I'm not bigging up myself, but people must understand sometimes when you're talk from facts and criticize me for what I need to be criticized for, but don't say it without you knowing anything. Because when a person will tell you that, this man shouldn't be in the program, ask him why he shouldn't be in the program. They can't tell you. Them friend talk it. You know what I mean? So it just doesn't make no sense.
Yeah. Listen, let's coach. I don't know if there's anything. Let me just take this from Neil. It says, regardless of Coach Blaine's perception that he's not in conflict with the girls, I think that a professional mediator is required to narrow the issues and propose a resolution. Psychics don't mediate.
Let me answer. And Neo, you come up with some good points, and I don't have a problem with that. But I'm telling you, if it was the girls that had a problem, I would suggest it. The girls are being manipulated. If you're saying no, they should get a mediator between the girls and who's manipulating them, I agree. But I don't have a conflict with them, and I see where you're going with it. But what I would want them to have is a psychologist who can talk to them and say, you can't make people manipulate your brains, really. That is what is the problem, Neo. That's what the problem is.
Yeah, but I will tell people this. Go and check the records of all the coaches that have coached female football and see which one have the best. Go and do your research and see if Vin Blaine don't have the best record.
Do it for the Caribbean. Don't do it for Jamaica. Do it for the entire Caribbean.
Yeah, for the Caribbean. Best record. Best record. You understand me? So, I don't know, people, if you have any more questions, Coach, I'm going to give you the last. Like I said, that my position. That's my position. But listen, man, talk to your family, and do what best. Cause I don't know. I don't know, man. I can't see. My biggest issue is, why would the idea of not come? And this is why I know it's not the girls. I can listen. Let me tell you. Khadija Bonishaw, Jody and Brown, Trudy Carter. Let me just call 3 names. For anything to be connected to them about them not wanting to represent Jamaica, it don't make no sense, because they don't talk that way. You follow me? They don't. In other words, These girls were willing to play even if the money wasn't right. Even when some payments, you understand what I mean? So for them to make a statement like this, and they were playing even when it don't make any sense. These are the things that I look at and say, sitting, there's something else, but we're going, I don't know, but coach, listen, yeah. I don't know what you're gonna do, but let's see. Yeah.
I say, first of all, I have to really, I thank the viewers who put questions and suggestions. But the situation I'm placed between a rock and a hard place as far as decision goes, and it will come out as soon as we have conversation with the JFF, and they're my employer, so they have to dictate. I can't tell them what. I don't think it's for me to say I'm doing this, I'm not doing that. I think it will come out of a conversation. Like how I got the job, it came out of a conversation. So let us see what the outcome is. I just say I'm placed between a rock and a hard place, because I believe if I stay and the girls walk away, the country suffers, not me. The country suffers, and I believe if I walk away, right, it will be like day one. And a lot of people don't want that. But so it's a decision that has to think about it hard and long. Yeah, but it's best for the country.
I want people to know, like, listen, the players, there are 3 players who didn't sign in, and they are important players. So when Vin Billion say he leaves, do they kick out those 3 players because they never signed? Like this thing, anyways. But coach, we will see. We continue to wait. We watch and we pray. People of Jamaica, listen. Every uprisings and acts of rebellion has never led to more freedom, but have made people and lives more marginalized. Because the powers always seek to strike down every form of rebellion. Coach, I want to thank it. Has been a long night. I know you're way ahead of us where you are, and it's a lot for you to think about and consider. Thank you for coming on. Really appreciate your time. We weren't supposed to go so long, but really, really appreciate your time. Some of the times you hear me laugh, I look at some of the comments.
No, I know that's what you do.
Some of the times they have this Calabar past student that he calls himself Brain Drain. So he makes sometimes some of the most brainless comments. You understand? And then Coach Vincent from the coaches, they say, manage say people of Jamaica. Which famous person said that? Yeah. So that, yeah, man.
Coach is this. We have apologized to Coach is this, because it was supposed to go on his program, but I couldn't. I arranged yours before. So Coach is this. I know I apologized here already, but I want to do it on here now too.
Yeah. Yeah, there you go. It says years ago, lawlessness to win, man. Let me tell you something. I tell people, Coach, as you go, like, you see, for crime to stop in Jamaica, before you get to fighting crime, you have to start put order. I always tell people this. I'm a pastor. I tell people this. Before there was any glory, order must be in every time. Great manifest order must be. There's no success where there's disorder and roots of rebellion. There is a right way to do things. I don't have a problem if people, including the girls, think that you're not good enough. But there's a right way to do things. And this way is not the way to do it. And there's a price that will be paid for this, for it being done this way. That's it. There's a right way. And maybe we need to have something in our bylaws as a footballing nation that have things like this where everyone will know what are the procedures if you're unhappy with actions from a coach or something. This cannot be the way that the highest level of female football in Jamaica deal with a matter of coaching. It must be fixed. And so, coach, again, I respect your professionalism. We'll follow up on this and see what the end result will be. But one thing I know, if you are wrong, we will find out. And if the quote-unquote outside influencers are wrong, we will find out. Because in the end, no matter how long it takes, the truth always wins out.
I agree, and I'm thanks for having me on. You know, I know you're passionate about the program, and I also want to thank your subscribers, to the program, because it's important that we get some of these things out. You know me, I'm not a person that hide behind. Whenever I speak to any interviews, I don't hide from interviews. I don't, and I don't have anything. If I'm wrong, I'll tell you I feel I'm wrong. That's what it is. But I don't like when people use like an ulterior motives to get their way and influence a particular people. That players. It's not something that it's good for the country. And if you destroy Vin Blaine as the head coach of the national program, you destroy the national program. If you have some legitimate views and concerns, you can air them in a way where it will be discussed in a manner that everybody comes out and we're not going to be right in everything we do. But if you pick the pieces and you decide that because it's anti what you think and you want to destroy the program because of that, listen what the guy said. The man come to him and tell him, Ryan, to come and tell him to put the things on the air.
Put out information.
Yeah, what is the reason? And it's saying thing about me calling people. I never mentioned those things. I've had coach girls from all my life, and the only thing I tell them when they come to camp is that, listen, I can't mandate your lifestyle. What I'm going to ask you to respect that is a national program. I don't want you to come and play football. Right? We used to have the house was right next door to PJ Patterson's house, and I asked them to dress properly when they return for camp. I said, when you go back home, then you can do what you want to do. But when you're walking through the neighborhood, it's an upper class neighborhood, and I don't want them to feel that you guys are anything else but football players. I don't want them to see you and think you're a thug. And that's all I say. And I've never referred to them. I just make rules. Like when I bring players when I used to bring players from the US and Canada, they have to learn the national anthem. Because when they stand up to the national anthem is playing, they have to know the national anthem. Those are what I ask. I said to parents, when your daughter comes home early from camp, don't call me. Ask her what she did, because it must be a rule that she broke. You get me? So I set rules for my thing. And some don't like because I keep those rules. You're a national player, you represent your country. I must be able to take it to the mall and you don't touch anything that you don't pay for. Those are things that I stand up for. And if you don't like it, then I broke some rules in this camp. I tell you something, I broke some rules in this camp because I wanted the best for the team, and it was the right time to discipline in the player. There are players who went out the night before the game, never come back to do the recovery work in the morning, right? We had players who I think I heard that had their boyfriend in the room. Nothing untoward happened, but those are things that shouldn't have happened. And when I found that out normally that player would never start the game for me. but I decided against it because I wanted to make sure that everything is okay. But I don't want to spite the team to lose because of the integral player that wasn't there. So all these things people have to understand. When you coach women players, I like to coach females at times. I don't coach male, but I like to coach females. But females want to do, they follow what you want them to do. The boys want to show you what they can do. And there's a difference. There's a serious difference. And I want people to understand that my passion for the women's game started a long time ago. That's the first thing when I came back from living in America. That's the first thing I did here was to coach females. I only took over the Abbeville team in 2013 when I needed to help out my coach, right? And anything I've done is because I've never, as a matter of fact, I've given my services free to most any school apart from the JFF and the university. I got a stipend from the university to coach. I got a stipend. I never charged St. Hugh's High School. I never charged Kingston Senior High School to coach them. Never did. Harborview, I coach, and all I got was gas money. And other people might think I was getting millions. Right? I never did. So people must understand the passion that I have for the game. When I came out to the national program, and people know what I gave up. My pay was cut in half to come here. I gave up that.
I'm telling you, I didn't want to bring up that, because
sometimes they must know because they think that other people say I'm here because of the money.
I didn't want to even bring up that you gave up. You just what
everything.
There you go. So yeah.
Everything.
So I don't know. But
so I just want to, I really appreciate the people that have made some contribution to the program, and I appreciate BJ coming on and Ryan coming on, Beggarman coming on, because all those people I know, and them know me from a long time. I don't know Ryan because but it's a matter of us looking at the program, whether male or female program, and I respect it and support it. We are Jamaicans, right? We do our culture of football not where it should be, because even when you have teams out here, they're not winning, the people stop going. When Jamaica not winning, nobody go to the stadium. But I wanted for these girls to qualify, bring them to Jamaica, play a good game in the stadium, and have the stadium at the capacity. Because the girls are playing good football. It's a bad timing for what this happened. And the people who allowed it to happen should be ashamed of themselves. Really ashamed of themselves to let this happen, to influence the girls to do this. And that's the last thing I want to say. They should be ashamed of themselves, and I really hope they're watching.
Yeah. Listen, again, thanks again, Coach. Listen, have a good night, and we will talk. We always talk.
Always a pleasure.
Yeah, man.
Take care.
All right, blessings, Coach. All the best.
Yeah, man. All
right. Well, people, there you have it. There you have it. Coach Vinblin. What can I say? I think he has said it all. We'll listen, we'll wait, and like he has said, outside influencers, you know yourselves. You don't have to talk to management, but talk to somebody and refute what was said. The video is up on YouTube. You can watch it and replay. Take out things and say he was wrong. I have them written down. I have the notes. I have the information. So here is the truth. If you want it, I can send it to you when you come to speak. Right? But notice that the nation football at the female level is at stake. Understand that. He wasn't loud or boisterous. There was no quarrel. He's expressing things from his perspective. Say your part. You understand me? We will not call the names that we believe are part of the influencers. Yeah, we hear allegations of people paying money to find dirt on the man so that he would not get the job. Will we really go that far? I'll say to the young ladies, I know that this is a tough time for you, and I want to encourage you to focus on the business of football. Don't be dragged into or drawn into any of these things. Because the truth is, if there is no national football and all of this blows up, it could affect your reputation as players. So have nothing to do with this. You have done a letter, and if you have the opportunity, say, listen, I unknowingly, if that is the case, if you agree, you go ahead and say agree. I'm not telling you what to say, but stay clear of those matter. When they ask you anything, listen, in retrospect, I should not have, because I come to play. I'm here to play. I'm here to play. You focus on your personal footballing career. And when you come to represent the country Jamaica, you give your best. I don't think it is wise that any part of the letter should suggest that if that don't happen, we may not play. So you just come to play. So I hope some of you will tweet some stuff, ladies. Go on your Instagram and say, listen, nothing is going to stop me from playing for Jamaica. And change that part of the dialogue. You have gotten to a place where you have won over many Jamaicans. I think the campaign is at a place where you have some persons who never normally watch. That's how influential you are, ladies. You have some persons who would never normally watch female football, who have bought into it. They are ready to buy. There people have decided not to buy any more reggae boys jersey. They want to buy reggae girls jerseys. They want your autograph. In many eyes, football loving fans, you girls are heroes. Let it stay there. Get yourself out of the politics. Be like, I'm going to use a player. Be like a Mikel Antonio. I want you to understand that you have never heard any utterance from him about any displeasure with Jamaica. Never. His coach may talk, his agents may talk, but he doesn't. He stays out of it. He comes and he focuses on football. Same thing with Kemar Roof. I'm giving you some players who have been completely professional about their conduct. Ladies, continue to be professional and don't be dragged in. Because the people, if it is true that people have influenced you, those same people will tomorrow turn against you. Because if they think, if it is so important for them to get you involved, to replace a coach, imagine when that same hand turn against you. It is there that that I end my case. Hey, Danny, love me, love me, Jersey. You understand me? Big up Island Card, right? Yeah. You remember when the reggae boys had this whole meeting? If you listen to my I Am Sure jingle, it says, I am sure if we can get these things done and in place, we can get to the World Cup. We are good enough, remember that? And that problem was never resolved until the campaign was over. Ladies, learn from what happened to the reggae boys. Fix this now. What about those 3 players who are thinking about coming? You think they want to come into this kind of environment? You think the Liverpool player still wants to come and play? The Chelsea player wants to come and play? Given all of this? Let us get this right. I said of the reggae boys, if we can get all of these things done by April, by May, it will be sorted out. I tell you this, people, if these things are not resolved by the middle of May, we ain't going anywhere. For a house divided, a kingdom divided by itself is sure to fall. The outside influencers will hinder coach and girls alike. There may be legitimate issues the girls need addressed, and we should listen. However, don't let anyone manipulate you out of greatness. I agree, Neil. And go in and talk to the coach. I have suggested, if you have a problem with the coach, talk to him one-on-one. If he doesn't listen, then bring the team manager. If that doesn't happen, then there ought to be a process. So I am saying, Neo, maybe when we're doing bylaws, we need to put in there, how do we deal with conflict in the organization called the GFF, from coaching to management to players? And we want to hear from the girls, but I doubt that any of the girls will talk. I think how this is going, you will not hear from any of the females. And that is going to highlight that they are not the main people behind this. Let me say it again. I guarantee you that between now and the next game that Jamaica plays, you will not hear anything from the girls. So bless up, one and all. It's a Brazil and friend. And you're saying 20 ladies now have no backbone. No. I'm not going to, like, I think some of you are missing. I think some of you I think some of you are missing what happened. No, you can blame them, but remember they were told they were sent a document to read. Then they were sent a next document to sign. And in the body of the email, it said it was the same document that they read, but they couldn't open the document, the second document, they couldn't open it. Listen back to the video, they couldn't open it to read it. So they signed it. What True Island story says? Wrong move what? Wrong move. So here's what. It also said, listen, for the next person to sign it, you have to sign it. Remember, it was said that even one mother said to the daughter, why did you sign it when you can't read it? There could be that. And like the coach said, some of them had some concerns. He admitted that he made some errors. He admitted that some of the girls had concern. That is not the issue. That is not the issue. Because he's not saying that they were not legitimate issue. He's saying that the girls had some issues, but they never knew that signing the letter was a request for the entire coaching staff, including the head coach, to go. That's what. They're saying. I agree with you, Fresh God. Yeah, with Conrad. Yeah, the money I ask, man. Yeah. All right. Regards, the first person should have been the coach who sees the letter. There you go. Checkmate, your move, ladies. It's a checkmate, Ishmael. Listen, people, bless up. It's 10:46. Good day for Arsenal. Good day for Management. Good day for Jamaica's football. Yes, so bless up one and all. We have come to the end of tonight's show. It was indeed a great pleasure being with you. We have a fantastic one lined up for you tomorrow. Please ensure that you hit the like button before you go. If you have not yet subscribed to the platform, please do so. Share it with somebody else so they can jump on and join. I am Management. We want to thank Coach Vin Blaine for being on with us, and every single one of you in the comment section. You really, 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 really made this a big show. Really appreciate it. Very good live show that we had tonight. Again, thank you so much for every comment. I may not have read it, I may not have highlighted it, but it was important. There are so many of them. Join us again tomorrow when you can be a part of our show. Again, thank you. Much respect. It is bedtime, and yeah, you understand. So have yourself a blessed day. Don't be bamboozled by the one brain drain. He's trying to perplex your mind. Allow him not to. Sir Christopher Carroll, always a blessing to have you. Grace and peace. Shalom to you, my brother. To all the believers in here, listen, use tomorrow to share the good news with someone. You understand me? Share the good news. All right? Blessings, one and all. I'm Management. This was I Am Sure Sports. We are over and we are whoosh.
Yo, watch about dog. FSK New Earths. The body out there. Sniper King I represent for I Am Sure Sports. You get to me? I say, when you want the latest news and sports and updates and all of that, check out I Am Sure Sports. You know the thing goes in. Remember, you cover the whole island. Remember Kingston, Westmoreland, Galchester, Ocherase, Galtigo Bay. Everywhere. I Am Sure Sports. Check it out for the latest news and latest updates. Sniper King I represent. Where them feel like? Ha. Yeah, someone on for the food from young, from where they knee height. I Am Sure Sports. Yeah, dog.